Columbia University. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Instead, tents remain as protesters defy a university deadline that already passed to leave their encampment or be suspended.
The NYPD is on high alert. We saw more officers kind of lining up outside of the main gates here. I did reach out to some NYPD sources who tell me they still did not get a call yet from Columbia's president, Manoush Shafiq, right, who told these students that she was no longer going to negotiate with them. Negotiations had stopped and they needed to leave.
Fox's Alexis McAdams at Columbia, where again police have gathered outside campus. The university president has said it would be counterproductive to call them back in. Protests grew there and around the country after the encampment was initially cleared by police earlier this month. Protesters at the University of Wisconsin-Madison today joining the call for divestment from Israel. On some campuses, police are still being used to address protesters not following school rules. More arrests underway now at the University of Texas in Austin and earlier today at the University of Georgia. At the White House.
It is a painful moment that Americans are dealing with, and free expression has to be done within the law. And, we're going to continue to be very clear about that. That has not changed. We've been very consistent.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden is against any violent rhetoric and that anti-Semitism is hate speech. The Biden administration says 5 Israeli military units violated U.S. law with gross human rights abuses. State Department's deputy spokesperson Vinod Patel says all of the incidents were before October 7th and none were in Gaza.
In 4 of those instances, as I just said, we have seen remediation of those violations, and that is, of course, what we expect of partners.
He says Israel submitted more information about the 5th unit. All of the units still eligible to receive U.S. arms at this time. America's listening to Fox.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating, and of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The elites want more control through digital currencies in a cashless society. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your gold inside of a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting PROTECT to 9898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text PROTECT to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
Message and data rates may apply.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? With Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mega at our controls. It's freaking Monday. We call him Flounder.
On the day I was born,
we got some kind of hat thing going here with the POWs. What a POW hat. Outstanding. Good for you, sir. Where'd you get that?
It's a Batman hat.
Oh, well, well, now see, there you go.
Oh, you were way off.
It wasn't even close. Pow, zoom, bang, zing, wang. Screw you, all of you. I don't know where I am. How am I supposed to know anything on Monday afternoon, first 12 seconds of the show? My God, man. Oh, Chewanga. I said POW. That's all I saw was, I have kind of a thing, about the, My God. What a start. Sorry, I'm going to be doing this all day too. I guess are you guys suffering at all from just the weather? I mean, I'm not sick, but my head, my stomach, I'm just allergied up, and I'm hacking and wanking, and it's unbelievable. And
you're doing what?
I don't know. There's no word for what I'm doing. You just heard a moment ago what I'm doing with this thing going.
Yeah, we shouldn't use the word yanking.
Well,
I think he said wanking.
Wanking, yanking.
Yank, wank.
What am I, British?
All are bad.
Wanker.
Oh, Lordy. Anyway, 305. And here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. I really would like to get your opinion. One about we're going to start off talking about this Kristi Noem business. I tell you, when I saw that story, I bet I felt and thought the exact same way and things that most people did. However, I'd like to hear your opinion. 404-741-1230. In fact, if you want, just put that in your phone as our radio station thing, and then you can just dial it up while you're driving around. Anyway, 305, and that's the number I'd love to hear from. Also about the protests and stuff, there's a deadline at Columbia. They have not dispersed, and they were supposed to disperse by 2 o'clock, which was an hour and 5 minutes ago, and they have not. And so there are people wandering around, and so here we go. I mean, I'm just, in fact, let me make this point. I'll make the point in a minute. First of all, we had a weekend, Pete Davis. A weekend situation and all, stories to tell, the happiness, goodness, and how was your weekend?
I went into the greatest dive bar I've ever been in my entire life.
Dive bar? Oh, I haven't been to a dive bar in decades.
Sunday afternoon, no less. Not a Friday or Saturday night, but on a bright, sunny, shiny. The best time to go to a dive bar when it's bright and sunny outside, middle of the afternoon, you go in and it's dark and it's dank and it's cool and it's like an underground cave full of people who are looking at you like, who the blank are you?
Yeah, we got a private club here, pal. I don't know who the hell you think you're walking into. Oh, man. I assume you were armed.
No, I wasn't armed when I went in there. I had my knife. I always have my knife on me there. It's called JJ's, and it's right on the Georgia-Tennessee border there, McKaysville, Copperhill. In fact, the damn state line must go right through the middle, because I walked in and I immediately realized people are smoking in here.
Oh, my God.
So long. I know.
When's the last?
Long time.
There's a bar. It's Riverside Tavern, which is right by my house. You can smoke in there.
I'll be damned. Well, holy
But again,
cow.
Same with, and Pete's familiar with this dive bar as well, Northside Tavern. You can go there and smoke.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
You can do other things there.
Yeah,
as
you
well,
can do.
but I'm not going to say exactly what's going on in the parking lot there. But so I walk into this place, and I'm going to tell you, if you're an Atlanta tourist thinking of going up there, walking in there with your Bermuda shorts and your polo shirt, I would not recommend that.
No.
You got to have a local, and thank God I had 2 locals with me to cover my butt. I won't say these young ladies' names because I don't want to sully their reputation from being in public with me, especially at a local bar up there. But I'm telling you what. You walk in, the first thing you notice behind the bar is a framed pair of panties.
Oh, boy. You lost it on the bar table, I'm guessing, one night. The senior prom celebrating their love for each other. I'm guessing. What's the story behind the panties? I heard the story, and
I forgot what the story is behind the panties, but one of the people I was with is related to, I think, the person who lost the panties. So it's like...
Well, you got to love a place. You walk in a place, and there's a pair of panties stuck up over the bar. I mean, to me, that just kind of says it all, doesn't it? Well, there you are. Yeah. Flounder, can you match that for a weekend activity, sir, at all?
No, I cannot. No.
Now, you went to the ball game.
Yesterday, me and Veronica went to the game, and it was nice because we actually were in the shade, so we weren't out in the sun, so we were able to enjoy and not be super hot. But it was a good day for a game, and of course, we left before the overtime or the extra innings started. Yeah.
Now, is Veronica a go to the ballpark stadium kind of girl?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's a whole. If you're an adult, especially, kids are old nothing, but if you're an adult and you've never been to a baseball game, you've never been to a baseball park, just parking the car, walking up to the thing, getting the ticket or getting and then going into the stadium, and then the first time you actually see the field, no matter what field it is, any baseball field, when you come over the concourse and you walk up those steps and boom, there it is. It's just a great sight.
I mean, yesterday was a perfect day for it as well. It's
so live and real, and it's old Americana. It's everything that Abner Doubleday days. And
she also insists anytime you go to a baseball game, you have to have a hot dog.
Okay, you got to get our popcorn and
have a hot dog.
Hot dog, popcorn, and beer.
Yeah.
They've got good ones at Trish, but it's amazing what your memory does to you. It's like perfect. It's perfect green, the diamond, the outfit is perfect. And then you watch old films of when the 70s or something. There's huge patches of brown out there and yellow and stuff, and it's like that. You don't remember that.
Yeah, all true. And again, I remember the first time I walked onto Wrigley Field when I was actually working.
I mean, after the game, and again, when you're there before and you get to watch the teams warm up, it makes you want to go play a game of catch.
Yeah. Yeah, all those things are true. And again, I'm the only person in the room who hit a home run at Wrigley Field. Thank you.
God.
Well, who had the bingo card? Who had the Kimmer bingo card?
Bingo.
Well, we have to bring it up. If we're talking baseball games, and my God, I've got like 4 things in my life I could write down as things that no one else I know has ever done. And that's hit a freaking home run at Wrigley Field wearing a suit and wingtips. Thank you.
I have a question.
I was 38.
I have a question.
I think. What?
All right. Wait. Okay, Flounder, you just said, well, of course we left before the game ended. Why?
Because we were in the deck. We were in the parking deck, and I was actually worried about getting stuck.
Yeah. You would be.
I didn't know. I was impatient. I didn't want to. I was afraid I was going to be sitting in traffic for an hour.
Yeah. Well, again, now, I don't think that's bad fandom. I mean, you went to the game, you did your thing, you bought your stuff.
Now, if it would have been a playoff game or something like that, obviously you stay, but it was just, I mean...
Well, now, Pete, you're a sports guy, so what do you have an attitude about people who go to a game and leave before... Do you think everybody who goes to a ball game, do you think basically philosophically as a sports fan, do you believe that people who go to a ball game should mostly all the time pretty much stay for the whole thing?
If you have a child with you, yes, you stay the entire game. That's why you go there, and they want to experience, especially if that child misses what an exciting ending that the Braves had in 2 of those games.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Yeah. But again, you're going to pay for it because it's going to be a hell of a time getting out. I mean, and the city traffic and everything go and leave. I mean, it's going to be a mess. But that's the ball game. That's
part of going to a game. That's part of going to a game.
Yeah, and that's with any event. That's with any concert.
But again, it's much more fluent here. I'm so used to being at Turner Field and a place like that where it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like you literally had to go in and you park your car and you just tailgate for the day. There's nowhere to go around.
Yeah. Anyway, and what an ending too.
You're going to have a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's also correct. Yeah. 312, 404-741-1230. We got so many things coming up. Also, I keep getting, are you guys getting bugged by this McAfee thing all of a sudden? Are you on your phone and you're looking all of a sudden, McAfee's, you go, counting down 95 seconds, 92 seconds, 91 seconds, checking your phone, I mean, what the hell is all this? They just take over my freaking phone while I'm Googling something, doing stories and stuff. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Are they trying to get me to sign up for something? I'm afraid I just have to shut the phone off so it disappears. I mean, are they trying to trick me to trap me into signing up for something? Aren't they mostly child molesters and rapists anyway? Ed McAfee, were they not convicted of anything?
No,
are they try to break into your phone so you can steal all your money at McAfee? Is that the thing? Yeah, he's a freak.
He's just a mysterious dude.
Yeah, well, get off my phone.
Interfering with that wanking time.
My wanky wingbanger. Oh my God! All right, hold everything. We got stuff here. We got arrested at University of Georgia today. Also, the pow boom zoom wang showing schwang schmack. We got all that. And Christy Noem the doggy. I tell you, that's our. We'll come back with that. We also Flounder's got a few. We got 3. We'll do one an hour. We have cuts from that the hideous White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh, did you? I tuned in for a second later with news coverage. Did you see the face of President White Trash? Oh my God, he's had a lot more plastic surgery done, and he was pouring sweat. It looked like it was made out of plastic, and it was melting. Oh my God. 3:13. Also, Vice President's side piece and shiftless explains where she got her cackle. Coming up, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 3:14. Look out.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
But first, insurrection twice today. Jew-hating Democrats shut down the Senate cafeteria right after they shut down a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing this morning. This was an insurrection. They stopped the people's business. The federal building could not get to where they're supposed to go. They were not allowed to do what they're supposed to do. 2 insurrections in one day. And you think you're going to be in solitary confinement for 3 years and wait for a trial?
Nope. They're special.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
All right, I got it. It's only me, 3:15, beautiful Monday afternoon. By the way, I look at the the week forecast. It's going to be near 90 this week. Like 88. Oh, mercy. And, of course, May is what, Wednesday? I think Wednesday is May 1st. Oh, my God. Oh, well, anyway, 3:15. By the way, Mother's Day is coming up. How about a special treat to keep your whole family happy and safe with Atlanta Safe House? You know, wives like weapons, too, and things to save their special stuff, whether it's a gun safe or a business safe or a jewelry safe. How about a nice, new, beautiful jewelry safe for that sweet mama to say thank you for giving birth to our sweet family? Atlanta Safe House. Check them out, atlantasafehouse.com. You can see what they can offer you and her. And again, it sounds a little, funny. Maybe you hadn't thought about it, but what you do is you get your safe and then you get her something sweet to put in it. So when she opens it up and says, oh, what a nice surprise. Ta-da! Atlanta Safe House. Jeff and Mark, these guys only use off-duty firefighters and police and military folks to deliver your safe for you. They can bolt it from the inside into your concrete floor in a basement or a garage or a game room or whatever. They can build you a vault door. And these aren't the little plastic things you get at the grocery store with a little tiny key. That's not a safe. And take it from the Kimmer. Keep your medical records and stuff in there. That's why the VA doesn't have to tell you to go pound sand. Thanks a lot for nothing. Anyway, it's my fault. Again, I screwed up. I went to Florida, didn't have a safe down there. I had two they got from Atlanta Safe House. They have great gun safes, always on sale. Pistol safes, check it out. They have a showroom in Ackworth. Please mention the Kibber when you do business with these great guys. All-American, anti-woke company taking care of business. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
From now until Mother's Day, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering an exclusive deal. Receive a complimentary Big Green Egg Grill with any qualifying jewelry purchase. It's the perfect opportunity to fulfill Mom's wish list with the stunning pieces like a diamond tennis bracelet, diamond stud earrings, or a timeless eternity band, all crafted to last a lifetime. Plus, while you're treating Mom, why not treat yourself too? Take home a Big Green Egg Grill courtesy of Georgia Spa Company. But wait, this deal isn't just for Mom. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, welcoming a new addition to your family, or simply want to show someone special how much you love them, this offer is for you too. Our incredible showrooms guarantee that you'll find the perfect gift for your mom or loved one at just the right price. So visit us anytime now until Mother's Day at any of our 3 locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Peachtree City, and find the perfect gift for any occasion with the extra gift for yourself of a free Big Green Egg Grill. Online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit Truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Support for Extra 106.3 comes from Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, celebrating their 35th anniversary and Mother's Day season with custom day spa and med spa packages. Discover Mother's Day gift ideas and award-winning day spa and med spa treatments available at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, as well as e-gift cards online at naturalbody.com or in store at one of their 7 locations in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Decatur, Smyrna, and Snellville. Pamper your parent with the gift of spa at Atlanta's best day spa and med spa.
Hey, darling. Hello, Willie. Roll me up and smoke me when I die. Oh, there you go. 2023, a year ago today, Willie Nelson celebrated his 90th birthday with the first of 2 concerts at the Hollywood Bowl in L.A., Guest performers included Norah Jones, The Chicks, Emmylou Harris, Neil Young, Stephen Stills, George Strait, Sheryl Crow, and Snoop Dogg, who joined Nelson on their duet Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die. Willie Nelson. There you go. I saw one of my happy songs of his is Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Was that with Waylon Jennings? Was that a duet or just Will? I think was that a duet? I can't remember for some reason. Anyway, 319, Kimmer Pete, almost 320, let's call it. Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Our birthday list. By the way, I'm glad, I kind of joke stuff because every day I make up my own birthday list and my own history list, and then Flounder does one too. And today, Flounder's guy, every once in a while, every few months, for some reason, the website that Flounder gets puts the wrong date on things. So I'm looking at these and say, gee, these don't match. so luckily I have my own. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to hear me do the birthdays. If I hadn't done my own list, I wouldn't be able to give you today's birthdays. I mean, that's the thing. We can't have that with our people.
So close.
I thank God. No, don't think. I saved it, but it's just my job. I don't. No, nothing extra. I don't want to. No. Chuck Lavelle, 72 years old today. The Chuckster, Tree Man.
In fact, they started their tour in Houston last night, the Stones.
That's right. That's right. And let's see, on this date in history, it was in 1983, Stephen King published Christine, his classic horror novel about a possessed car. Actually, in the movie, I seen the movie, Christine? You've probably seen it, right? You have never seen it?
Nope.
How about you, Flounder?
I don't like Stephen King.
Not a big. I liked Pet Sematary.
You never saw the movie Christine?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's weird. I mean, it's a strange, weird movie, and it was kind of that ilk of the splatter, platter, teen rock and roll type thing, too, theory, anyway. But it was on this day in 1983, he published Christine, the horror novel about a possessed car. And in the movie, they said that the car was a 1958 Plymouth Fury, but it was actually a 57 Plymouth Fury. And they also used a Belvedere and a Savoy as part of the filming because they needed more than one car, so they have a Belvedere and a Savoy. And for the record, I was remembering this. I had a neighbor, the Smith family, growing up as a kid when I was like 15, 16, and they had a 1958 or 59 Chrysler 300, and it had push-button transmission on the dashboard. Buttons to push to drive first and second and reverse.
Some of them were on the steering wheel.
Some are in the middle of this. In fact, I think Rambler, the 59 Rambler, may have been was the first deal, but there were some late 50s Chryslers and Plymouths and a Fury, Dodge Dart, that had push-button transmissions, the damnedest thing. And I thought, God, that's no fun. I mean, anyway, but that's, it was weird. Back then, they would do anything to, just be different. Again, back then, every year was different. Every car model that came out was different. We literally would go to the car dealerships when the cars came in. Right. We'd tell our neighbors, hey, the new Chevys are in. Let's go see the new whatever. Impala. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Every year was different. And have you seen a 58 Chevy or Plymouth or Buick lately on the road? Oh my God, you can't park them anywhere. They literally don't make parking spots that will accompany a car from the 50s and 60s. You couldn't park it at Publix. It'd be sticking out 3 feet off the other side.
Back when we had style and class.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bumpers and fins and bumper skirts. Remember the full wheel covering bumper skirts? Oh, man. The spinners on the wheel and the front wheels, wide white sidewalls.
Oh, my favorite was the Impalas with the wings kind of in the back over the lights.
Well, the 58 Chevy Impala with the fins. 3 headlights, and then the 59 had the big wings the next year. But fins. That's how every year it was unbelievable. Anyway, let's see. 323, just kind of reminiscing. Sorry, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And our 3 o'clock hour is brought to you by our friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, please visit firstlibertyga.com. We got a couple of phone calls. Hold on, Patricia. We want to talk about this Kristi Noem business. First of all, Bob heard you.
Yeah, Bob actually just hung up.
Oh, sorry, Bob. Now to Patricia. We're going to talk about the Kristi Noem story. And again, if you have, I assume you've heard it. I know Patricia did. Kristi Noem has got a new book coming out, and she reveals that she killed a puppy. She said, I know some people are upset by a 20-year-old story of Cricket, one of the working dogs at our ranch, in my book coming out. It's honest stories of my life and challenges, decisions, lessons learned. The South Dakota, she said, states dogs who attack and kill livestock, livestock can be put down. Given that Cricket had shown aggressive behavior toward people by biting them, I decided that I did what I did. Her excerpt says, 14-month-old female dog Cricket took her to a gravel pit near her farm and shot her, quote, because she was less than worthless, untrainable, and had killed and eaten several chickens. She said Cricket ruined a pheasant hunt, went out of her mind with excitement. It wasn't a pleasant job, but had to be done. After it was over, I realized another unpleasant job needed to be done, killing a nasty and mean goat at the same gravel pit. Dear Lord. Anyway, Patricia, you're on the radio. Happy Monday. Good Lord. I mean, gee, Patricia, just out of curiosity, would this change your mind about maybe having Kristi Noem as the vice presidential ticket with Donald Trump?
Well, her new song should be, she's running a campaign, If I Only Had a Brain, from The Wizard of Oz.
Why in the world would... I mean, I guess the book is coming out, but...
You can't fix stupid, Timmer. You can't fix stupid.
I mean, who in the world would throw in a thought that this, at any time in the political season, that this release and even conversation about it would be a good idea, unless she had no intention of ever getting involved in national politics. I can't believe it.
It doesn't matter. She probably won't get elected in her own state again because it's stupid. It just shows how stupid she... I thought she had a brain, but evidently, as I say, she should sing from the Scarecrow, Wizard of Oz, If I Only Had a Brain.
I mean...
And one other...
Yes.
One other little quick thing. On your McAfee thing, the whole thing is a scam. I got it on the phone. I responded. The next thing I knew, I got a bill from McAfee for $300 and something a month.
Whoa!
And then so then you call to try to cancel it, and they want you to download it. The whole thing was a scam. I told the guy, well, I don't own a computer. What do you mean you don't own? And on and on and on and on.
Man.
And you could just don't even touch it, Kimmer. The whole thing is a complete scam.
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. Thanks, sweetie. I really appreciate it. Again, when it starts doing, it just goes zing. You can see the thing, 99 seconds, 94 seconds, checking 7,000, 14,000. And we're going, what the hell's it? Like a little Zoom going on there. And I just shut the phone off and block it and then have to start all over again. What the hell? I mean, I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that. I mean, how did somebody get the ability to put that on my phone?
Well, back to Noem here for a second.
Yeah.
She almost kind of talked her way out of it, that it killed livestock, it killed chicken, it was legal, blah, blah, blah. She almost talked herself out of it. And then she goes, well, then, of course, when I got through killing the dog, I decided, well, what the hell, I'm here. I'll just shoot the goat, too.
Yeah.
I mean, stupid.
Yeah, and not only that, when she used the words less than worthless and untrainable, if she had said this was the hardest thing in the world, plus, there's no way that she should have killed the dog anyway. If the dog was bad with chickens, then give it to somebody else. I mean, it's still a dog. It's still, make him an outdoor dog or an indoor dog, and then don't take him on your hunts. Put him in the barn.
That's how we think. Suburban, city dweller, stuff like that. But when you're out in the country, especially South Dakota, places like that, when you're out on a farm, they have a different view on some animals.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they're different.
Well, and again,
you don't admit it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely a different life. Well, it's like, you can't. Kids who are brought up in 4-H programs, and the little girls fall in love with a steer they've raised, from a baby, lamb or what do they call them, a cow, and then all of a sudden it's time to send them to market where they're going to chop up and you're going to eat them later. So
now I want to know what the damn billy goat did.
Well, billy goats are mean.
Yeah,
billy goats are nasty.
You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously he must have been incorrigible. I mean,
he butted her.
Because you can't. I mean, billy goats are nasty. I mean, well, anyway, 328.
Got a lot of experience with them. Huh?
I had I've been around billy goats back. I'm down in Florida, retired at the farm at the stable, and they had a big Vietnamese pot-bellied pig too. I used to have to go chase it because the damn thing would get out the gate and go through the neighborhood. So I had to go get him, and I'd have little pieces of stuff there, so he'd follow me back to the stable. It'd take me like an hour to go, a quarter of a mile because he's a little big 300-pound pig. And Jack the Good by my horse scared the death out of him. My horse wouldn't go near that. Oh, man, he was scared the crap out of that horse. Anyway, 329. Some arrested at the University of Georgia today, and there was a couple of dozen of them showed up, and they refused to disperse. And so universities, they say, have chosen profit over the lives of Palestinian people, blah, blah, blah. And so they want divestment of financial relationships with Zionist organizations, justice for Palestine. They were warned to get out. If you don't comply, you'll be arrested, and they were. I don't know exactly how many, and there may have been some faculty and staff members also, but the University of Georgia says we'll make it clear we will not cede control of our campus to groups who refuse to abide by university policy for those who live and work and study here. So there you go. And by the way, just a quick thing. It occurred. Okay, I'm an old time. I'm a baby boomer. Here's what this is really upsetting me in fact, the whole what's going on in America the last several years has really upset me as an individual at this stage in my life concerned about the future. Not only my future, but my country's future. I'm a baby boomer. And in the days of the 60s and 70s, the protests, monster protests, we've had anniversaries, I've been telling you about at Columbia for years. The protests were all for peace, for bringing home American soldiers, for civil rights, for the rights of the downtrodden, for women's rights, for equality, for things that were important to America. Now it's all kill the Jews. It's not for anything except slaughter the Jews. I mean, what a difference. And that's why it hit me like a brick last night. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's why I can't figure it out. I mean, I can understand if it was, for civil rights or for if they come back from the war or get out of the Ukraine. I mean, and those are not even major enough issues to cause this kind of stuff. But because it's anti-Jews, it's pervasive. It's the first time that I've seen protests like this that were against in a horrible, hateful way instead of being for something that would be good for everybody.
Our society has managed to raise the most ignorant generation in the history of this country.
Self-loathing, entitled,
narcissistic,
and unknowledgeable too. They don't know. Most of them don't know what the hell's going on out there. It's the social media generation of the gang mentality. You lynch them, and they all show up at the town square. Let's get rid of them.
Did you see the film, the Georgia State Patrolman picking up that guy at Emory? He thought he could just lay down.
My two favorite videos, that one and the other one was the flying tackle faceplant by the Stady the other day. Oh my God, he was like 4 feet in the air. Zoing was freaking Superman. Boom, bounce him off the concrete. Man, was that freaking funny. 3-3, pow, zoom, wham. 332, give her Pete and Flounder. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hey golfers, the next time you're looking for a quality course to play with a great variety of hole layouts and elevation changes that demand every shot in your bag, then you've got to line up a tee time at Wolf Creek Golf Course. Since 2001, Wolf Creek has earned a reputation as one of the most challenging and most fun golf course experiences out there. Wolf Creek is conveniently located just 10 minutes west of the Atlanta airport and only 15 minutes southeast of downtown Atlanta. When you play golf at Wolf Creek, you'll find beautiful natural scenery and excellent turf from the tee boxes to the fairways to the greens, with top-notch Bermuda grass in tournament condition. After your round, Wolf Creek offers a patio area for your group to enjoy a 19th-hole gathering. Golf Digest selected Wolf Creek previously as one of the best golf courses to play in the Atlanta area. To book a tee time, please visit wolfcreekgc.com or call 404-344-1334. That's 404-344-1334. wolfcreekgc.com.
Insurance companies know that you don't know a lot about the law, so maybe it would be better just to let your lawyer make the call to the insurance company when there's a problem. David Van Sant should be that lawyer. He used to work for the insurance company. He knows who to call, what to say, and he has your best interest at heart. Plus, if you don't get paid, either does he. Van Sant Law, 855 GA Injury or vansantlaw.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call Select Quote at 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944.
Select Quote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
My name's Jeff Criswell. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Georgia's 6th District. I'm a Republican. I'm very conservative. I'm sort of a middle-of-the-road kind of person, which I think in Georgia District 6 is really going to work to my advantage because it's a very diverse district. You know, if you ask me right now, the big issue is immigration. Also, the cost of living. My goodness. The numbers are crazy. It's so much more expensive now to live, to go buy groceries, to buy gas. We've got to do something about the cost of living. And I believe that all of that is linked to the national debt, which would be my third sort of an issue here. We've got to stop spending money that we don't have. The reason I think people should vote for me is because I am brand spanking new to this business. I am going to bring a very new perspective to this. Go over to jeffcriswell.com. That's Jeff Criswell, CRISWELL.com. Hit that donate button. Help us out. By all means, we want to partner with you because we can win this district.
This message is paid for by Jeff for Georgia 6.
Anyway, it's Queen. Look out now. Looks like somebody's about to bite the dust there. 2009, a Queen fan won a 2-hour one-to-one guitar lesson with Brian May after he bid about $12,000 at a private auction. Was in support of the Action for Brazil's Children Trust, of which Brian May is a patron, held at the exclusive cuckold. I thought it was Joe Biden for a second. The Cuckoo Club in London. Well, she's a doctor of cuckoldry, so
the Cuckold Club.
The Cuckold Club. There probably is one. I swear to God. You know, there are guys who actually like to. Well, I can't even imagine.
I know.
I can't. I mean, how in the world would you get pleasure out of watching another?
It's a whole genre.
337. Anne Margaret's birthday, 83.
Wow.
Anne Margaret. Although God bless her, there's a lot of great stories about Anne Margaret and veterans and going over to Vietnam. And I'll tell you what, I never saw her in person in Vietnam, but I knew of her being there and the things she did. And I'll tell you what, she was as good a patriot and someone trying to help the troops as anyone who's ever, like the old Martha Ray back in World War II and stuff. Right. I mean, she was really a treasure. And there are a lot of, you can Google stories about Anne Margaret of helping veterans and so forth and signing things and doing, anyway, God bless her.
She always speaks highly of you.
Well, they had that one thing for just a minute. You know, she was doing the gambling movie with and Steve McQueen, and he was treating her like crap. Well, no, it wasn't Elvis. It was a Steve McQueen one, and he was treating her like the gambling one, and so anyway, the poker player. The poker one, where they were playing a poker, and a Texas guy wanted the Cincinnati Kid, yeah. And we had a thing for about a week there. On this day in history, 2018.
You and Steve McQueen.
Me and Steve.
I believe that more before I believe that.
Well, I fell in love during Wanted Dead or Alive. When I first saw that on TV, I thought, boy, there's a little guy I could really, That was a great show. I mean, what a terrible actor, by the way. I mean, anyway.
Oh, come on.
No, well, I mean, he did a lot of great roles, but he wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like he was, did great soliloquies of, his acting. He rode a motorcycle in Great Escape and stuff like that.
He's action guy.
He's a great action guy. Again, I used to love Wanted Dead or Alive. Was a great movie. I got a TV series. I'm sorry.
TV show.
2018, The Simpsons. In 2018, on this day, passed Gunsmoke for the highest episode count of any show on TV. After a 20-year run, Gunsmoke had 635 episodes. The Simpsons in 2018 had 765 and counting. So there you go. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Before I forget, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was over the weekend, and I saw some highlights of it or something, and I remember seeing the face of President Crime Family. Oh, my God. It looked like his Botox was exploding with, like, pussy, sweaty something. Oh, but he looked like the plastic was melting. Anyway, they had, I think it was this Colin guy, and there was some a Czech comedian too. And Flounder picked out a couple of things. Let's do one. We'll do one an hour of somebody making a funny comment at the White House Correspondents' Dinner there, Flounder, if you will, sir.
Here we go.
Right over here.
Let's get this ready while I stall.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Ready
I thought you were sorry.
Like many of you here tonight, I pretend to do news on TV. My weekend update co-anchor, Michael Che, was going to join me here tonight, but in solidarity with President Biden, I decided to lose all my black support.
Brilliant. Hear the booing? Oh, you suck up. I mean, they actually booed him. It's supposed to, oh my God. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of a roast. Anyway, but again, these people have no sense of humor. These people, I mean, that's all they've got is, oh, Lord.
Colin doesn't care. He goes home to you-know-who.
Who's he with now? Is that...
Scarlett Johansson.
I'm sorry? Who?
Scarlett
Johansson. Oh, yeah, that's right, too. Yeah. Okie dokie. Anyway, by Flounder's Funny coming up here. Sponsored by Nucky's Hoagies, by the way, the sub-sisters and our girls. At Columbia, the deadline passed at 2 o'clock to get off the campus, and they have not gotten off the campus, and the people are wandering around, and we'll keep you posted on that. Also, Emory University is trying to put a focus on the end of the term, and they have their graduation commencement on May 13th. And the quad will feature Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, president of Morehouse School of Medicine. And let's see, there were arrests all over the place at Northeastern, Arizona State, Indiana University, Washington University, and University of Texas. They're clearing them out again. Emory, and again, the video, was it Emory? The video of that flying cop tackle. Oh my God. I mean, he left his feet from like 6 feet in the air like Superman, face plant on top of the guy right in the concrete. Man, that was freaking hysterical. And then the other cop, who didn't look like some big muscle-bound weightlifter, he picked up that 200-pound protester and carried him off. It was hysterical. And he didn't do the fireman carry. He picked him up by a leg and the scruff of his neck and hauled him off. Oh, man. That was funny as hell. And by the way, the White House hasn't said squat about whether they're going to have these students get their loan forgiveness program if they've been involved in these protests.
In fact, the Biden administration just came out attacking Israel for human rights violations.
I couldn't, I couldn't believe that. It came out today. Of all the times when the White House would announce that they have condemned Israel for several counts of what's the official anti-humanitarian actions or whatever it's called, and this was before the October assault by Hamas. So in other words, the White House went out of its way to say, well, forget about the Hamas attack in October. We are condemning Israel for examples of they had like a suicide killer hit squad in Israel that went around killing people. And the White House complained that they investigated and said there were lots of examples of Israel violating the human rights of people and slaughtering people unconventionally well before the October assault. Why did they come out with that? I mean, it's just rubbing it in Israel's face saying, by the way, you screwed up and we're condemning you for it. In the midst of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
And the Biden administration, after they killed that innocent family in Afghanistan, blew them up, saying they were terrorists, they should know.
I don't understand. And why today? I mean, in the midst of all this, starting off the week with it. But
Democrats hate Jewish people. I mean, it's obvious. They hate everybody except right now, Hispanics and gays. That's who they're focusing on right now.
Trying
That's
to
all
get
the
them
Democrats seem to care about.
Yeah. And Carmela Sidepiece, the shiftless and lazy vice president, is in town today trying to get black men to start voting for Democrats again because they've lost them. Pretty much every survey that's out says not only is Donald Trump leading in the poll count, not only in swing states, but actually nationally, but also the black male vote is gone for the Democrats. And so she's in town offering sexual services apparently to all the black voters, all the black male voters. And if there's a couple of females in there, she'll take them. I mean, when you have a lot of bodies, sometimes something gets in there that you're not aware of. It's not like you can, you don't want to discriminate at the time of, a rival. Sorry, was that you? Oh God. Anyway,
whose foot is that?
Yeah, they're freaking. Oh, by the way, one more fun thing on the Democrats. Flounder just found this story. Here we go. I'm about to lose my mind. Massachusetts. House Democrats in Massachusetts took a vote on an amendment which would give priority to homeless veterans for shelter assistance. Homeless veterans would get priority over migrants in the shelter system in Massachusetts. Okay.
We also have audio of it.
Oh my God. Let's do that and then we'll get the vote count.
What about the military folks that are getting out of the military and they have to go through all the lines and start all over again, even though they have credentials? So my question, pretty simple. Why would we fast track them and we won't do it for our military?
They have the advantage of speaking the language, most of our military folks. So these folks that we're really working on may not have that. So it's going to be really difficult for them to say, yes, I used to be an electrician in my country. I'm just using mine, which is Somalia. But that might not really fall into our laws that we have in this country.
I really don't care, ma'am, about some Somalian electrician who sneaked over here illegally to come into America. And you let a freaking veteran who's got his legs blown off and has no home because the VA, I'm kind of familiar with how the VA says go screw yourself, if you can't prove some various things. And so here's the vote. This is incredible. Massachusetts House Democrats and their legislature voted on whether veterans should get priority for shelter over illegal immigrants. The vote was 27 for, 129 against. They lost by 27 to 129. Democrats voting to give priority to illegal immigrants in Massachusetts over veterans.
Another elected Somalian screwing up everything.
My God. Keep voting for these people. Oh, they also hate Jews. 346, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Just for the record, Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
What about, then, the politicization, however you say it. Politicization, if that's right. I don't even know if that's right. Close
You're doing great, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah,
we're down to the last couple minutes.
Yeah,
it's good, because that just became a promo.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey fans, Xander from Atlanta Painting Company here, and with spring on the horizon, the home team won't be the only ones painting corners in Atlanta. This spring, save 10% off all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is to protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we are the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly Magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Northwest Pediatric Care.
Hi, I am Dr. Figaro. Northwest Pediatric Care is a primary care medical home for infants, children, and young adults. We see patients from birth to age 21. We are located in Lake Point Professional Center, and our practice consists of 2 board-certified providers, myself and pediatric nurse practitioner Cora Crumby. We are excited to bring our brand and exceptional medical care to Ackworth and the surrounding community.
I am nurse practitioner Cora. We are vaccine friendly and welcome the opportunity to discuss vaccine choices with our parents. We are open Monday through Friday and some Saturdays. You can look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and our website at nwpediatriccare.com.
Thanks so much. As a mother of 3, I'm thrilled to help spread the word of Northwest Pediatric Care. Friends, make an appointment today and tell them Our Town sent you.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
I laugh because this group played my theme song for years and I hated it. I hate this group. I hate everything they've ever sung. It was my theme song. If people around, I'd be on the beach in Puerto Rico or Acapulco, and somebody would have a portable radio on the beach playing around the bend, and someone would say, "Herp, help, herp, rock." I'm like, oh my God. And I hated that song. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? I'm 352. This Creedence Clearwater Revival. On this day in 2003, the $5 million lawsuit against their leader, John Fogerty, was dismissed after a personal injury lawyer claimed that he suffered hearing loss in his left ear from attending a Fogerty concert at CCR. The judge said the plaintiff assumed the risk of hearing damage when he went to the concert in 1997. He tried to get $5 million. You'll get nothing like it. I want a cheeseburger. I want a fried
hot dog.
Hot dog. Let's see. Our birthday list includes the twins who do the makeover home people. Drew and Jonathan Scott are 46 years old today. And I think they're still going strong. But when we were out of work, I was trying to find work, and I've had that out of the... Man, I watched more of those house building, put it on the market, love it or leave it, and how to upgrade the new houses. Oh, my God, cheaters. And this day in history, 1789, there really was a mutiny on the Bounty. The British ship, commanded by Captain Bligh, mutineers set the captain and 18 of his loyal crew into a 23-foot lifeboat, and they somehow made it to the Dutch East Indies after 47 days on the open sea in 1789. First of all, can you imagine 19 or 20 guys on a 23-foot raft in the open ocean? In 1789, it's not like they would have, modern technology or bathrooms or, oh my God. I guess they had to fish and catch fish. Just survival. I can't. 47 days on the sea. The mutineers themselves in the ship they commandeered made it to Tahiti and Pitcairn Island, which as of even today is basically all inbred from Fletcher Christian and his horny crew. And they say, in fact, I looked it up. I actually Googled this. If you go to Pitcairn Island, you have to have permission to bring children. And if you go to Pitcairn Island, they're warning you, this isn't, like you think it's going to be. There's nothing here. There's nothing to do. And all these people are all related. They're actually warnings. You have to have permission to bring a kid to Pitcairn Island.
So it's kind of like Clemson.
Kind of like Clemson.
With a lake.
With a lake. A wonderful, wonderful waterfront. 354. Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis got together, a little secret meeting, and obviously with the Kristi Noem thing, there's no way that Kristi Noem, after admitting she killed her puppy because he was worthless and couldn't be trained, it's over for her. That's the ballgame. She may never even be elected again in South Dakota. So, whatever. Anyway, so now well, I don't. Again, it is a wilderness and farm country, so they probably have a lot more. I don't. Honestly, I don't know. I can't relate to it. I can't relate to doing it. So I'm out of the picture and she'll probably live forever and be the governor forever if they're going to let her. But again, they had a meeting with Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, and they, obviously that's the choice for vice president. Who else?
That's who he should pick because he'll have 4 years to get his ducks in a row to run in 4 years. DeSantis.
Yeah. Who could he? Who's the other better? Tim Scott or
Clay and Buck are saying Tim Scott.
Well, does it hurt that he's a white male?
Well, that's why they're saying Tim Scott, But again, President Stupidface said, got trapped into saying, I got to pick a girl. I'd like to get a black one. And he got stuck with a woman who never got a single vote in the primaries. Had to drop out before any election. So, again, I don't know. It makes sense. But nothing makes sense in this political season. And the last 6, 7, 8 years have made no sense at all. This is the most bizarre life in a country that any nation's had to go through since, Caesar's time, I think, probably. Anyway, early voting starts today in Georgia. You can vote now today.
Caesar was part of our history?
Well, it's a no, not ours. The world's history. Of all the world's history of nations that go through a 7 or 8 year period, this was one of the worst for anybody ever.
French Revolution kind of is up there.
Well, okay, but I'm saying changing your culture, changing everything about your nation, and the whole. We'll see.
The Russian Revolution.
Okay, there's like 2. Okay, there's 2 or 3 others.
Chinese Revolution.
Well, again, there's 3. Okay, could be 3 other important things. Like 356. What did I forget? Shut up.
What kind of people are you? Are you crypto people? Yeah, I'm sitting crypto out, and maybe I'm blowing it. People go, well, where are you putting your money? The bank. Shut up. I've never rooted against a currency before. You know what I mean? I've never been like pesos. Like I didn't. My issue with crypto is everyone who told me about crypto had never spoken about finances before, ever. It's like, weren't you a DJ 3 weeks ago? Why are you telling me? I was talking to my buddy. He's like, bro, you'll make sick returns. I was like, never speak to me this way. Social media makes everybody think they have to be cool. Certain people, I don't want cool, right? I don't want a cool finance guy. I don't want a cool lawyer. I don't want a cool doctor. I want my doctor to be like, bro, I saw your x-rays. They were so sketch. Like, I don't want I have important things in my life. You know who I want in charge of them? Dorks. Here's what I want in charge of my important things. Oily skin, bad clothing, no eye contact, just a touch of Asperger's. Just a touch. Salt Bay, but it's Asperger's. But I get why guys fell for crypto, and let's be clear, it was all guys. Women don't take financial risks. Women take emotional risks. Women will be like, no, I didn't invest in Bitcoin, but I am dating a drummer.
Who's that very
that
funny
is Neil
guy?
Brennan.
Oh, my God. We've had him before. I forgot.
Yes,
He's a very funny guy.
He is. He's pretty funny.
And again, it's sort of that family humor of total straight stuff of just life and life, pretty cool. In fact, speaking of that, Jerry Seinfeld has gone public with it. We're going to play his comments coming up about what the change in culture.
Didn't he just turn 70? And he's got a little commercial out with Ken Burns, the director.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Because
really,
Seinfeld's done a movie about Pop-Tarts, right? And he's trying to get Ken Burns to join him for Gravitas. And Burns going, "I'm not going to do that. You made this all up. I'm not going to touch it."
Well, you'll hear Jerry Seinfeld. Also, Bill Maher on with that pimp, that total phony, empty shirt goofball, Don Lemon. Oh, my God. I mean, he's a poor baby. Yeah, poor baby. He gets out of his limo after he demanded a $20 million car from Elon Musk to do a show with him. I mean, oh, my God.
Fails upwards
pimp.
Constantly.
God. Anyway, it's almost 4 o'clock. So we got all that coming up for you and a whole bunch of other stuff, including I made a decision which will change my eating habits for years, and I'm thrilled. I know you can't wait to find out about it. Also, got the TV update. I'll give you an update. Come in, sort of a conference. It's at 4 o'clock.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
A hands-off approach at the White House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As controversy continues over campus protests, White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says free expression has to be done within the law.
We believe, and we have said, anti-Semitism is dangerous. It is hate speech, and it is abhorrent, and there is no place for anti-Semitism on campuses or anywhere else.
Some pro-Palestinian protesters argue it's not anti-Semitic to criticize Israel over civilian casualties in Gaza, but some openly support Hamas.
I'm trying to do my final, and in the background I hear they're chanting for the death of Israel, the death of Jews. It's completely unacceptable. If they want peace, they don't stand for anything like it.
He's at the University of Texas, Austin, where police made more arrests today. Arrests also made at the universities of Georgia and South Florida for tents violating school rules. At Columbia University in New York City, police are on alert outside campus as protesters inside defy a university deadline to leave their encampment or face suspension. Police in North Carolina say multiple law enforcement officers have been shot during a task force operation in Charlotte. There is no word yet on their conditions or how many officers were shot or any word on the suspect. Heartbreak and damage assessments in Oklahoma. Parts of the state torn up by more than 20 tornadoes over the weekend, killing at least 4 people.
And unfortunately, we know from funeral home directors around the area, they say because of all the water that this area has taken on in the last few days, a lot of the funerals are going to have to be delayed because the ground is so saturated. They got at least 5 inches of rain just this weekend.
Fox Weather's Katie Byrne in Holdenville, where a 4-month-old baby is among the dead. A 5th person was killed Friday when tornadoes ripped across Nebraska and Iowa. Stocks finished higher after a mixed day ahead of this week's Fed meeting. The Dow up 147 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The elites want more control through digital currencies in a cashless society. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your gold inside of a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting PROTECT to 9898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text PROTECT to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
Message and data rates may apply.
Look out now. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. 403 with old Mr. Goofy. I thought he was going to sing there. Rod Stewart just as well. He's probably going to come up here in a second. Anyway, I hate this voice. Well, thank God. 2001, Rod Stewart asked for a change in wedding vows, bringing them up to date, and to be treated like a dog license. Rod Stewart said a change is needed because they've been in existence for 600 years when people used to live until they were only 35. It doesn't say what he had to change it to. Was this for that hot redhead chick he married?
Probably.
That Rachel girl, what her name was? Man,
Hunter?
She was a dish, yeah. Anyway, Rod Stewart. I hate his voice, I hate his hair, I hate everything about him. And I know everybody else thinks he's the greatest singer in the world, and they all love him, and I hate him, and I'm the jerk, and you're not. Okay, fine. Let's see. Birthday list includes the fabulous Jay Leno. Jay Leno was 74 years old today. And let's see, our history list today includes 1975. It was, why am I laughing? I'm having a thing. It was madness. The official American involvement in Vietnam came to an end. I remember a couple of years earlier on my birthday, March 29th, it was the last of the military troops were withdrawn from Vietnam. But it was on this day in 1975, it was the official end of American involvement in Vietnam, period. Marines and helicopters evacuated the last American citizens from rooftops in Saigon, from the embassy. Thousands of South Vietnamese parents were swarming the area, trying to force their children onto the waiting choppers to take them without their parents to America. Marines actually had to use their rifle butts to try to smash the fingers of all the swarms of the locals who tried to climb over the walls of the embassy and get on the choppers, and there was madness. I think they tipped a couple over. I mean, it was just a madness. Getting into the compound, and the final American involvement on this day in 75, and that was, well, you know.
Get to the chopper.
It was, wow. Let's see, 405, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends in the home of the Kimmer Safes, Atlanta Safe House. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and if you need a safe, you don't think you know it, you do. Don't be like the Kimmer when I lost stuff because I didn't have my safe. Tell them the Kimmer sent you and check them out, atlantasafehouse.com. Also, we have tickets giveaway. You want to do that now or anytime? Just whoever wants to call. What do you think, Founder, Pete? Anything okay with you guys?
What tickets?
Well, there's an event coming up called Back Our Blue and America 2. It's on Thursday, May 16th. 4 to 8 p.m. at Rustick's Manor in Woodstock. It's an event honoring Officer Joe Burson and all the fallen officers and benefiting the Woodstock Public Safety Foundation and Holly Springs and Cherokee Sheriff's Police Foundations as well. They'll have jump houses. Oh, it's a family thing. 4 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, May 16th at Rustick's Manor in Woodstock. Jump houses, fishing rodeo, live country music, axe throwing, raffles for adults, fun and camaraderie. You can go to backourblueandamerica2.com for tickets. And
if you call right now, we'll hook you up with some tickets.
Outstanding. 404-741-1230. We have a 4-pack of tickets. Again, Thursday afternoon and evening 4 to 8 p.m. Rustick's Manor in Woodstock, May 16th. Okay, there you go. Excuse me. Let's see. A quick update, and we're going to talk politics here in a second, and we have more Flounders Funnies, and we have some more White House Correspondents' Dinner stuff, and thinking about, you're going to hear from Bill Maher and mocking the idiot Don Lemon here coming up in a second. Also, the Jerry Seinfeld stuff. Oh, and Flounder found a very funny story from John Kruk. John Kruk is a very unusual former baseball player. I like him. He's a nut, and he's real natural, and I mean, he's just a naturally kind of a funny, weird guy, and kind of you could be friends with. I think anybody could be friends with John Kruk. I'll bet you. I'll bet he could just welcome anybody to just be a friend, have a good time, and have a beer with him, and then go your way. I don't know. Anyway, you'll hear from him too. Quick update. As you know, the mail, Palmetto, I guess, is the source of the problem. But the mail lately, I called my bank today to cancel another check. And she says, yeah, a lot of people are doing that because the companies I send checks to don't get them. And in fact, I sent money to my daughter, Jennifer, for her birthday when a special card I'd had and everything else. And it never got there still. It's been 15 days. So instead, this weekend, I went to Publix. And I sent her money in minutes, Western Union from Publix, okay? Money in minutes to Colorado, $86. for me to send money in minutes by Western Union cost $86. I could send money to Mexico for, I think, for $12.
Yeah.
$86 because I can't trust the mail anymore. I mean, this is like the third time that I've had companies call, we didn't get your check. And I've given my credit card over the phone, and then they get the check in a month or never get it. I mean, it's not, one of them never got it. And the check I wrote to Jennifer, that was never, nobody ever got that either. So, it's out there somewhere. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, and again, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to go into the automatic thing where I have it on my cell phone, and so I'll do some banking link freaking app something so I can do it by touching numbers on my cell phone to pay my freaking bills. I got to do it because I can't. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, $86. Good Lord. Jeez. All right, 409. Oh, my God. I remember the first time I saw the Chevy 409, man, when that baby came out, and there were the big white Impalas, and they had 4-speed Hearst sticks on the floor with the big long, they were not little teeny things in a console. There was no console back in the early days of the 60s with big old cars. They didn't have a console. They just had the floorboard and a stick coming out of it. And the 409 had this great big Hearst shifting thing, a 4-speed on a big white knob on it. And I think it was 1961 or 2. I can't remember what year the 409 came out. And all the hoods in town got the 409. And nobody else in 409 had it except the hoods, man. They had, oh man, was that cool. And their girlfriends were arms slinked all over them in those bench seats right next to them. God, that's all they ever wanted. That's a girl to put her arm around me and claim me as her guy in a hot car. Oh, well, 410. Life goes on. 404-741-1230. Prosecutor Uppity Schmuppity, Fani the Floozy Willis, decided not to show for her debate on Sunday, forcing her challenger to debate a vacant podium. Her opponent is Christian Wise Smith, and he called Fani the Floozy, the uppity schmuppity. He called her unprofessional, hiring her former lover as a special prosecutor in the Trump thing. And he got kicked off, of course, because that was a freaking disgrace. And then everything she talked about, and Fani said, Fani never even showed. And there's probably a good reason why she didn't show. Talk about uppity schmuppity. There's a poll that says Fani the Floozy is leading her race to be reelected as Fulton County DA by 70 points.
Yeah.
70 points. Uppity,
get the hell out of
entitled, nasty, vicious. She's a liar. She's a cheat. She's a fraud. She tried to screw that court case. She lied about her relationship with the guy. I mean, everybody knows it. And she tried to deliberately screw up the court case, and the judge caught her, and I can't believe he never held her in contempt. Well, I can believe it because he's running for re-election. He's afraid to take her on. He freaking Fulton County. I swear to God. And I unfortunately live in Alpharetta, which is Fulton County. So between her and the federal Gestapo investigation, they're going to be putting stuff in the trunk of my car.
She's a mayor. She's the next mayor of Atlanta if she wants to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she says, all you white people can go kiss my foot. And she says she's only guilty of loyalty because all of her staff always come first. So again, she says, you leave me alone. I hate you white people. And I'm going to go get Donald Trump. And if I can, I'll try to have him assassinated. I mean, she actually admitted that, I think.
If Trump, when Trump gets reelected, how much money is the federal government going to be sending to Atlanta?
You want to build a road, do you? You want to fix 285? Is that you're telling me?
Yeah.
Let's repave 285 with all that federal money.
Certainly.
You'll make it right on that.
Your check is in the mail. Your check is in the mail.
Yeah, we're going to bail it.
It's going through Palmetto.
We're going to bail it. First class, though, so, airmail, Oh, my God. 413. Well, you're going to hear from Bill Maher in a second. Also, some classified documents show that the Mar-a-Lago FBI raid was a fix. And more evidence that the FBI was behind some shenanigans to make it look worse than it really was. Oh, we got it all coming up. 413, Kevin Payton, Flounders, Funnies, and more White House comedy thing coming up, too. Look out, there we go.
time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, they had the NFL draft over the weekend, and I am extremely proud to say that I cannot name one single player who was drafted, although I expect Brock Bowers was in there somewhere, nor can I name a team that drafted him. But there were 775,000 mindless fans who showed up for this draft. Yeah, mindless. We're in an election year. In all likelihood, we're going to re-elect a president who will be unable to serve 4 years due to old age and dementia. He will then be replaced by the vice president, somebody who worked her way to the political peak by being A, a woman, B, black, sort of, and C, eager to make the beast with two backs with whomever could advance her political career. Way to go, America. But we had an NFL draft over the weekend, and that's what's important. Bread and circuses. Let me tell you, politicians loved seeing that crowd cheering these jocks and the teams that are drafting them. The Roman emperors knew what they were doing when they built those colosseums to entertain the people. You look up bread and circuses, and it says something as extravagant entertainment offered as an expedient means of pacifying discontent or diverting attention from a source of grievance. If you had the sense that God gave a garbanzo bean, you would be totally discontent with our current political picture. But maybe not so much if you can worry about how your NFL team did in the draft. No wonder this country is failing. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Support for Extra 106.3 comes from Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, celebrating their 35th anniversary and Mother's Day season with custom day spa and med spa packages. Discover Mother's Day gift ideas and award-winning day spa and med spa treatments available at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, as well as e-gift cards online at naturalbody.com or in store at one of their 7 locations in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Decatur, Smyrna, and Snellville. Pamper your parent with the gift of spa at Atlanta's best day spa and med spa.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
All right, here we go. 418, I had Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Well, oh my. All right. That's like Aerosmith here. In 1998, Steven Tyler broke his knee at a concert in Anchorage, Alaska, delaying Aerosmith's 9 Lives tour and necessitating camera angle adjustments when they went to film the video for I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I guess because they didn't want to see his bandaged leg, some kind. 418, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 1230. Our birthday list includes, let's see, the fairly luscious Penelope Cruz, 50 years old today. Although Pete Davis and Flounder, if you had to choose between Penelope Cruz and the other one from 30 Rock,
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek.
It's not even
No, you
close.
got to go Salma Hayek. Oh,
Yeah,
my
Salma
God.
Hayek. Yeah.
I mean, she's like 55 years old and still perfect.
Just perfect.
Oh, God.
Got a little weight on her.
Honestly, she's just perfect. And she's got an attitude. I mean, it just seems like the perfect
Yeah, you
girl.
may have to muzzle that attitude a little bit.
Well, yeah, but
other
that
than
you got to be a man. I mean, yeah.
She, you know, she's a type that is the domineering in real life, but she loves to be spanked behind closed doors. You can just tell.
Oh, mercy. Oh, okay. Let's get back to the thing. Our birthday history. That's it. Birthday of St. Cancel this. Oh, no, get off of there, you. There we go. I got to get to my phone here because I have 3 different sources of things. Okay. On this day in history, 1945, Mussolini and his mistress have a very bad day. Patriots executed Benito Mussolini, and a hoarding mob was kicking and spitting on his remains in the center of the city where the Italian fascism area was born. Mussolini's face was a disdainful snarl. They told him he was going to be executed. He shouted, "No, no," to the firing squad, which then took his life and that of his mistress. They were taken to Lake Como near the Swiss border. Body taken by truck to Milan, dumped in the city square. The Patriots killed his mistress, Claretta Petacci, who was a doctor's daughter, a young girl, and 16 other fascists, part of his cabinet. They were brought to Milan. The American Fifth Army entered the mob area and tried to hold 5,000 people back, but it didn't work because they all wanted to stomp his body. One woman fired 5 shots into Mussolini's dead carcass, saying, "5 shots for my 5 assassinated sons." The crowd would break through the American military to trample on El Duce.
Didn't they hang him upside down by his feet?
Yeah, they did on the town square. I mean, oh my God. And they just mutilate. I mean, oh Lord. 1945 on this day. That was actually 2 days after they caught him, and then he couldn't believe it. They say, "Yeah, you're about to be executed." He said, "No." Yeah, it didn't work well.
Oh!
Hey. Oh, mercy. 421, 404-741-1230, 741-1230 with a camera Pete Fly. Do we have a winner of our tickets yet, by the chance? We're giving away 4 tickets to the Back Our Blue in America 2, Thursday, May 16th, an afternoon event till the evening, 4 to 8 p.m., Rustics Manor in Woodstock. Jump houses, fishing rodeo, live country music, axe throwing is a ticket thing to raise money for Public Safety Foundation in Woodstock and Holly Springs, Cherokee Sheriff's Department, stuff like that, honoring Police Officer Joe Burson. And you can give us a buzz. We'll give you the tickets, or go to...
We do have a winner. It was Doug Spitznagel.
The Spitznagels from which...
I believe the Atlanta area.
The Atlanta Spitznagels. Well, now again, they're probably they're wonderful people. So he's going to have 4 tickets, and they'll have a little family. So call us on Friday after May 17th. Call us, and we'll talk about how much fun you have.
I've never heard any dark word directed at the Atlanta Spitznagels.
I know. I don't think it's... well, shame on you for even putting the idea out there. 422. By the way, Bill Maher is. You gotta love Bill Maher, and he's still a goof, and he is who he is. But I appreciate the guy because he does things, and he just does things, and takes the consequences, and it's fine with him. And God bless him. I appreciate. If you disagree with somebody, I still appreciate what he does if you're honest about it, and you just you're not trying to cause trouble. You're just being yourself. Well, he had the idiot Don Lemon on his program, and they were talking about the protests on college campuses and anti-Israeli, anti-Jewish hate and stuff like this. And Lemon had talked to Bill Maher on a panel at New York University, Professor Scott Galloway, about the Israeli protests taking place on the campuses. And they were talking about the protests as anti-Semitic and so forth. And then Don Lemon talked about them as being a fad. But anyway, listen to how Don Lemon tried to turn this on to him as though he's been suffering just like the poor Hamas Palestinians and the Jews as well. Here,
I'm not minimizing what's going on, but it teaches some of these students to deal with discomfort, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Right. I mean, it does, right? But this
you mean the tent, living in the tent?
Well, living in the tent, and also, listen, I'm different than you guys. You know, I'm a black gay man, so I live in uncomfortable spaces all the time, and I think that is a good lesson for college students. Again, I'm not saying
why? What's going on?
Well, what do you mean? What's going on?
Well, you say uncomfortable spaces.
Well, it's uncomfortable. College is not a comfortable place. You learn.
No, but you say you live in these spaces.
Yeah, I live in these spaces.
Well, I mean, just tell me what.
Well, I'm often the only person of color in the room, especially in.
There's only 3 of us here. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, what an idiot. What a pimp. I mean, my God, an entitled victim, a professional victim.
Card. The man gets fired from job after job after job and gets hired for more money at the next one.
He went to Elon Musk and said, well, I want to come to work for you with X, but you're going to have to give me, $7 million a year and one of those fancy cars.
And I'm going to interview you and crap on you the whole time.
I'm going to treat you like, I mean, my God.
Can you imagine if you went out there and said, Mr. Dickey, come in here, we'd love to have you on the show, and you brought him in there and you did nothing but for like 30 minutes.
We need some upgraded stuff in here. It's just my God. I mean, just at the nerve of these people. And it's just, the media's just gone nuts. Anyway, you're living it.
We have Tony on the line. He wants to talk about perspective of radio.
Excellent. Absolutely. Love to talk to you, Tony. Welcome aboard. What's going on? Welcome.
Hey, Kimmer. I'm a long-time listener back in the old days, and, I stuck with you a long time, too. I had to put up with my family saying, why you listen to this guy?
I know. I'm
being
sorry.
An American.
It's my fault.
But I said, no, Kimmer's great. He's funny. I mean, you got to give him a chance. Well, I'm trying to get him back on board, but it's tough when I hear you and Neil Boortz going together, 2 miserable old guys complaining and reminiscing about the time they were in the Revolutionary War. So things have changed, but I'm still hanging in there with you.
Tony, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the vote of calling me an old man who's lost his touch. But that's good because this way it keeps us humble.
You haven't lost your touch.
No.
Your fastball, maybe.
No. In fact, honestly, I mentioned it briefly in passing, but I thought about this last night. What's been going on lately since Trump came down that stinking escalator? Honestly, I didn't really notice how it's affecting me personally, not only as a just who I am, but as a person at this stage of my life. All of a sudden, I'm realizing really just the last several months when all this stuff is really starting to happen, it's really changing my whole attitude. I don't like the edginess. I'm on edge. I'm ready to fight somebody. I'm just, I've had it up to here. And part of it was the VA stuff and then, all that things and all the hatred and the politics jeez.
You talk about all the time. You spend 12, 13 hours a day prepping for the show. You got to stop doing that.
Well, I can't.
But the thing is you've got to. Go hit some golf balls. Go to the horse range again.
I don't have time.
Find stuff to do to where you don't spend all your time looking at the news.
I can't. I don't have time.
Yeah, you do. You've got plenty of time. You just wrap all your time up in this show.
Well, but because this is the show.
You could do a 3-hour show without any prep, Kimmer.
No,
Which, of course, you wouldn't want to do.
You wouldn't want to, but you could do it.
I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying.
Well, exactly. You need to find some time, other things to do than to focus. And I have the same problem. Like, I'll wake up at 5 in the morning. The first thing I do is I go onto Twitter and I look at the news feeds.
Yeah. Well, that's what and I'm getting up earlier, and I'm starting earlier, like at 5:30 now, and I'm trying to get everything done. I go through all the news feeds and stuff, and so by 7 o'clock, I pretty much fed 10 stories, and I've got things in touch, and then I keep going for a couple hours. Now, after that, I probably could take from 9 a.m. to 11 off or something, and then take a shower and come to work or whatever, but I can't stop. They got the histories and the birthdays and see what
remember
Google
this.
Stuff
okay,
and,
back in the 90s, you had a top-rated show.
Yeah.
And you were married, you were playing golf, you had 1,000 hobbies and 1,000 things to do. You didn't spend 12 hours on that show. And it was a top-rated show.
Yeah, that's right. I did not. You're right. All right. But again, on the other hand, the alternative, I don't have time to drive to the stable and take some videos and drive back home again. I have time to do something for an hour or so, but I wouldn't have time to go hit balls. There's nowhere near me to do it. So, the two things that I would really have fun doing are out of the question. So the other question is, I just sit there and, you watch TV, catch up on the TV from the night before I didn't see. And, either way, it's, again, it sounds like I'm really not complaining. I'm just, this is my life. That's all I got.
If you watch more TV, you could talk more pop culture.
Well, I could also tell you that now 3 times over the weekend, my TV froze, and I had to call Comcast, and I swear to God, they said, "Oh, hello, Kim. We're going to put you on with our AI." No, human being, personal service, personal contact. I fought and yelled, and I finally unplugged it myself and put it back in. I wasn't even sure if it was the right power button, and they said, well, there's a screen thing on the screen. Well, go to the AI symbol, ai.com.us as a 44704, whatever. I said, I'm not doing that. And I finally called and got through. They keep resetting the damn thing. And now, by the way, of channel 851, I noticed I was looking through the guide, which is impossible to use because you can only go 1 hour at a time to see what's on in the next 10 hours. You can do 1 hour at a time to see what's on instead of opening up for you like it used to. And all of a sudden now, channel 851 is on record for hours. I didn't do anything to record for hours. Where the hell did that come from? So now I got to figure. And by the way, there's no way to unrecord it. You can't. It's on record for like 10 hours. So if I were to go ahead on my guide and say I want to see what's playing at 10 o'clock tonight, it'll already be. We'll record this show at 10 o'clock tonight. But there's no way that I can tell it not to record. There's no but. It used to be that you could hit the guide twice and it would say don't record this. It doesn't have that now. So I have to wait till it records it tomorrow and then erase it. And this is modern technology with Comcast for $280 a month.
I don't get it. I pay $140 for Fubo, and
I'm going to do the banking thing. I'm going to stop mailing checks, and I'm going to somehow get a TV thing with a remote that I can instead of having to feel for where it is and look at it to try to make a change in your freaking TV channel. I mean, this is appalling. Absolutely, and I hate being a complainer. I just want to watch TV. I just want to sit down and go click and watch a freaking program. I mean, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong?
I just want to be loved.
31 guys.
That's so wrong. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
We need more prisons. We need more jails. We need more swift, certain punishment. The biggest deterrent to crime out there is swift and certain punishment. That's why I want to see us really streamline the capital punishment laws in this country to where we can convict a murderer, sentence him to death, give them a streamlined 45-day appeal process, and then fry them.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff, an incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
From now until Mother's Day, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering an exclusive deal. Receive a complimentary Big Green Egg Grill with any qualifying jewelry purchase. It's the perfect opportunity to fulfill Mom's wish list with the stunning pieces like a diamond tennis bracelet, diamond stud earrings, or a timeless eternity band, all crafted to last a lifetime. Plus, while you're treating Mom, why not treat yourself too? Take home a Big Green Egg Grill courtesy of Georgia Spa Company. But wait, this deal isn't just for Mom. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, welcoming a new addition to your family, or simply want to show someone special how much you love them, this offer is for you too. Our incredible showrooms guarantee that you'll find the perfect gift for your mom or loved one at just the right price. So visit us anytime now until Mother's Day at any of our 3 locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Peachtree City and find the perfect gift for any occasion with the extra gift for yourself of a free Big Green Egg Grill. Online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Spring is the perfect time to bring a group out to a game at Truist Park to enjoy great weather and Braves baseball. Come experience the brand new private Jim Beam Bourbon Decks located on the lower level down the left field line. The Jim Beam Bourbon Decks have a great view of the field while incorporating a private setting and bar access for your group to easily socialize while you cheer on the Braves. Visit Braves.com/hospitality to snag this amazing new space for your crew this season.
Ozzy's punished another one. Make it 2-0 Braves.
And come experience another brand new space in right field, the Blue Moon Beer Garden, offering the largest variety of Molson Coors beer options and unique food pairings. And there's a special ticket offer for any weekday game during the regular season. Tickets are only $30 and include a grandstand reserved game ticket and $15 added value to use toward food or beverage. A limited number of tickets are available for this special offer, so lock in your seats now at Braves.com/Blue Moon. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors, call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
Oh my, look out. Look out, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Boy George. All right, then. Your word for it there. In 1997, Boy George was accused of being a professional liar by musician Kirk Brandon. It was during a London court hearing. Brandon was in court suing Boy George over claims in Boy George's autobiography that they had sex together. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Our birthday list includes the hideous, I think the dumb one, Elena Kagan, the Supreme Court person girl, 64 today. She's the dumb one, right? Kagan?
I thought Sotomayor was the dumb.
I think you're right. Sotomayor's the dumb one. Although Supreme Court Justice Katichi Chachi Bippity Boppity Boo is clearly the most cowardly, stupid one who is afraid to identify what a woman is. I don't know. I'm no biologist.
I don't count her as a Supreme Court
What
justice.
a joke. Oh, my God. Anyway. And on this day in history, 2008, Democrats hated this, but still get around it because it's up to the states now. But on this day, 2008, the Supreme Court ruled that Indiana has the right to force people to show an ID before they vote. Can you imagine the balls that the Supreme Court said, well, the state of Indiana has the right to make you show an ID before you get a ballot to vote? Democrats always say, old people, poor people, and you blacks are just too stupid to know how to get an ID or too shiftless to know how to carry one on you when you get to the polls. That's why I think something like 42 states still today don't even require you to show an ID to vote. I didn't show one when I went the last time. I showed them my card. I showed a card
Most
and they
of the
said,
civilized world
yeah,
has that. Most of the civilized world, you have to show some kind of ID so they can't steal your vote. And Democrats, you're exactly right. They say that they're too stupid or lazy to get one.
Yeah. Was it the Kuwaitis who put their finger in the ink for the first time, or was it? Oh God, I can't believe
Iraq.
Was it Iraq, the first free election after the Saddam Hussein thing fell? Yeah, that's what it was. When we got Saddam Hussein, and they had actually free elections for the first time, I guess, ever, and they would put their finger in to prove that they voted, and unbelievable. 438, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 1230. We have a couple of phone calls. Did you say Richard Flounder, is that correct?
Yes, we got Richard, we got Skeeter. We'll take Richard first.
Richard, you're on the radio, my friend. Thanks for calling. And Skeeter, hold on. What's up, Richard?
Hey, Kimmer. I am your 35-year CNN employee, but I just retired.
Oh, really?
Last Friday was my last day.
Oh, well, good.
So I wanted to say,
good
you guys were talking. You guys were talking about separation of work and play or home life or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to do that. You have to do that. And guess what I did? When I got home Friday night after my last day of work, I was still logged into work, and I did work.
Yeah.
I didn't work for Turner anymore.
Yeah.
The next day, I was still logged in. They hadn't kicked me out yet. I still did work and not getting paid for it. I cannot believe this. It's unreal. But, so I just wanted to call you and tell you thank you for all of the years that you have entertained me. And hopefully all the people that call in entertain you. And I'm sorry that I will not be able to be a CNN insider anymore. They now will not let me back in.
Oh, be done. And by the way,
a great ride.
Yeah, I'll bet. Now, were you a news guy or work in the office, or what kind of stuff did you do?
I was just an engineer.
Yeah,
showing up when something goes wrong. I would be the guy that shows up and fix things. And one of the greatest things that ever happened was. Well, I was there when 9/11 happened. Yeah. But when I would walk into a control room, the director would say, "Oh my God! Thank God it's you."
Yeah.
Man,
well,
your head when you're an engineer.
We rely on you engineers. We don't want to mess with the engineering staff. I promise you. And now, and by the way, just out of curiosity, does CNN have a retirement program? Do you get money every?
You do?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'd like to actually tell Flounder about that off air because I can't talk about it on air. Just like I can't talk about CNN on Facebook, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yes, it's
good.
Fantastic.
Good for you. I'm happy for you.
It's 35 years, man. 35 years, and I'm getting to step away. And I encourage you to. You don't want to give up what you're doing because I loved what I did.
Well,
I was great at it. I was absolutely great at it.
Well, Richard, I'm happy.
You are great at what you do.
I'm very happy. I'm so happy for you. Use your retirement to have fun and be restful and happy, and grab a pretty girl and just enjoy yourself the rest of your life. That's the way I wanted it to happen, and so I'm glad that at least somebody's got it going, and that sounds like a good deal to me. I'm very happy for you, Richard. Congratulations, my friend. 441. Skeeter, we still have Skeeter on board here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flout. Hello, Skeeter. You're on the radio.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
I was 15 years old living in Guam in 1972.
Yeah.
My parents were civil service for the Navy, and Sergeant Yokai, that was his name, when he was captured. And if you can imagine 15-year-old boys, after he was captured, we all went out hunting. But we never did see any other Japanese soldiers because when he finally got back to Japan and he got debriefed again by the military, he said there was another platoon of soldiers on the island in 1972.
On Guam?
On Guam. So the government of Guam, the Air Force, and the Navy invited him back to try and coax him out of the jungle.
I'll be darned.
never did get another one to surrender.
Wow. Some of these stories are really unbelievable, and they're real, and can you imagine? I can't imagine. Anyway.
And it's such a small island, if anybody ever Googles it, they say, well, how could that many soldiers hide?
Yeah. It's a stopover place for flying to Asia and stuff, as I recall. So not much more going on.
You never did stop there?
I think I did on the way to Vietnam, as I remember. It was like a 28-hour flight or something, and it was at nighttime, and I think we stopped at Guam, and nobody knew where we were, what we were doing, and we never got off the plane, and it was just madness. That was 55 years ago, or it was 56 years ago, I think.
Yeah, well, you didn't really miss that much.
No, I know, clearly.
It was a great place to grow up. But
really?
not to live at.
Yeah, cool. Well, Skeeter, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Semper Fi, my friend. 443. Give repeat and flounder.
I'm actually looking at a map of Guam for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It's basically south of Japan, east of Philippines, and north of New Guinea, right in the middle of that big ocean there. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
We have Kathy on the line. She apparently is going to help you fix your TV problem.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that would be now. Well, this is going to be boring to everybody else, but Kathy, thank you, sweet girl. You're on the radio. Welcome. What's up?
Well, thank you, sir. Semper Fi, fellow Marine.
Excellent. Fellow Marine? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hoorah. God bless America. Female Marines, man, do not mess with these ladies, but you can count on them for anything. Outstanding. Welcome.
Okay.
What's up? Yes, ma'am.
My suggestion is, if you don't like the remote that Comcast gave you, get a Logitech Harmony remote. You can pre-program it. They have actual buttons, and that should help you. And, oh, my God, you're paying way too much for Comcast. Go get wireless.
I know. Now, let me ask you this. So if I get this remote, how am I going to link it up to the TV and the...
It steps you all through it. Don't worry.
So, well, you think I can bring it home and then what? Just plug it and turn it on and it just works or something?
The directions explain exactly how to do it. I'm not tech savvy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a knuckle dragger. I'm not tech savvy. But I do know that if I point it to the TV and I tell the TV what remote it is, and I tell them what service I have, whether you have our wireless or a cable company, in your case, a cable company, it will automatically tell you what to put in and how to do it.
I'll be damned. Well, you're so sweet. Harmony, is that the name of it?
It's Logitech. Harmony is the model. They have others. You can get all sorts of doodads. You can even get a touchpad to put on your end table or nightstand.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. And Semper Fi, hoorah, and God bless America. You'll be guarding Heaven's Gate one day.
I'm tired of hearing about the TV.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye. So it's really, you weren't trying to help me. You're trying to shut me up. Is that it? Well, I don't blame you. Seem to be doing a lot of that lately. I'm supposed to be having people want to listen to the program, not I'm telling you to stop talking.
You can get one, $146 at Amazon. They have one that's $400.
Yeah, I'm going to get right on that. 446, the Giver, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, Lordy.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
450, 10 before 5. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 1230. And you're rocking Monday. The Fabulous Thunderbirds. Dun, dun, dun. Tough Enough. This was a big hit for them, actually. The band's name, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, kind of sounds like something out of the 50s to me, but it was on this day, 1997. American bass player, guitar player Keith Ferguson died of liver failure. He was 50. It was a part, they say, to a 30-year addiction to heroin. Member of the Fabulous Thunderbirds, who had 2 big hit songs in the 80s, Tough Enough, you just heard part of that, and Wrap It Up. I don't know anything about my froggy. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Everything's fine. And our birthday list includes the naughty little Elizabeth Rome. She's that chunky blonde lesbian chick from Law & Order. And it's good little actress. I don't know what she's done after the Law & Order, whatever it was, but
Chunky blonde is
chunky
good.
blonde lesbian. It's okay with us. And let's see. Oh, I got a little story here to tell you. On this day in 1989, John Bon Jovi married his high school sweetheart, Dorothea Hurley. 35 years ago at the Graceland Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas. They eloped. They're still married today. And there's a story out today about John Bon Jovi saying two things. One, he says, I haven't always been a saint. He admitted that he'd had a lot of chicks in his life and he treated them kind of badly. He said, hey, he admitted, he said, hey, I was a rock and roll star. So it's not like I haven't had 100 chicks or anything. 100? 100? At a time, maybe. I think he probably was mistaken. Anyway, but he also credited his wife, saying, "Man, we wouldn't be together if it weren't for her, with her tolerance and so forth." And he also, this is kind of amazing to me. Bon Jovi said that he had a lot of convincing about the song "Living on a Prayer." He didn't like it. When it was first written, he said he was wrong about the song's longevity. He says, I didn't want to record it. I wasn't all impressed at all the day we wrote it. It was simple chord progression, the melodies and the lyrics, and then the bass line came to life in the demo studio. We took it back to the band, worked it up. That's how it became what it is. We knew what we wanted. We just didn't have it. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. Good day, but good day at the office. And he said, I was wrong. It was one of the biggest songs in our catalog. One of the big famous hits, of course. Living on a Prayer, but he said he wasn't very impressed with it. We demoed it for a movie I'd written it for, and I thought, yeah, that's not very good. Put it on the shelf, and the guy said, a friend of ours said, he was listening to some of those lost songs. He said, this is a monster hit, and he was right. Living on a Prayer. Isn't that funny?
Okay, 5 minutes ago, if you put a gun to my head and say, name me one Bon Jovi song, I would not have been able to do it.
Yeah, well, that one, I could probably remember that one, but not that I was a huge fan of the group or anything. But, it was, what a story. And he's married for 35 years today. What's the matter? You're looking askance there.
Grover T. Groundhog has come up to the porch. He never comes up to the porch.
Let him open the door. Go, get your video, get your camera. Let's go FaceTime live.
He's gotten awful brazen.
Do it. Go live. This would be cool. Can you put him on YouTube? Can you go live on YouTube up over with your camera?
If I raise my eyes, back down now. He's going back down now. But he's going to do it again. If he does it once, he'll do it again.
Yeah, get some video. We'll put it on. Along with Winston the doggy. Miss Veronica's doggy. Let's see. On this day, I just did the Bon Jovi thing. That's no, I'm not confused at all. 4:55. Over the weekend was the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and that guy Colin guy and some blonde chick were doing jokes, and Flounder found some of them, and here's one of them now from the White House.
It's also wonderful to be back in Washington. I love being in Washington. The last time I was in D.C., I left my cocaine at the White House. Luckily, the president was able to put it to good use for his State of the Union.
Ooh. Wow. It was all hyped up? Holy cow.
I'm kidding, of course. The president doesn't call it cocaine. He calls it high-speed rail.
Oh, my God.
He won't be back.
By the way, can you blame the guy for turning to cocaine? He must be exhausted, orchestrating 4 separate trials against his rival, rigging the Super Bowl, and gearing up to steal a second election. Wow.
No one laughed at that.
That's pretty ballsy right there. Well, I of course, didn't watch it, but I have a whole new opinion now. I get.
Well, the funny thing is at the end, he praised him. He talked. I think it was either his grandfather or his father passed away, and he talked about how his father voted for him because he was a good man.
Yeah.
So he kind of, at the end, did a little kiss ass.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected, of course. 4:56. By the way, apparently the new registration rolls show that Georgia gained about 13,500 voters more likely to be Democrats.
Yep.
According to analysis, registration data, political scientist at Emory says Georgia mirrored national trends of people leaving Democratic-leaning states like California and New York and coming because of the high cost of living, coming places like here, but they're likely to vote in the upcoming election might give Democrats a small advantage.
Because they're idiots. They're idiots. They keep they're locusts. They've destroyed their habitat. Now they've moved to another habitat, and they'll destroy this one as well because they're idiots.
I hope they're not all Jew haters like the ones on the campus now. I mean, they bring their Jew hating to Georgia.
Quit being nice to these people. Quit hiring them. Quit being good neighbors to them. They're here to destroy your lifestyle. They're not your friends or your neighbors. They're your enemy.
Yeah. Now, remember, Biden supposedly won Georgia by 11,000 votes last time, and now 13,000 new Democrats have showed up? Republicans, if you don't get to the polls this time like you didn't last time because you voted Herschel Walker, we're getting we can't keep doing this.
Well, Republicans aren't much smarter the way they act.
I know. You're right. Absolutely right. 4:57, the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder here on beautiful Monday afternoon. It's going to be, what did I forget there, Flounder?
I was crossing the street, and a guy in a pickup truck didn't see me and hit me while going like 35 miles an hour. And then I woke up 3 days later in the hospital. Which, the only other time that I had that experience of just kind of like waking up somewhere that I didn't remember, I usually felt the need to apologize to people. It was, I woke up, I was like, I'm sorry why I'm here. I don't know. You all look happy to see me. Okay, that's great. No, but I broke my knee, I broke my shoulder. I had an epidural hematoma and I needed emergency brain surgery, which it kind of led me to really figure out that your head itself is kind of like an iPhone. You can open it and fix it, but you're really not supposed to. They really don't want you to do that at all.
Who's that there, Flounder?
Drew Barth.
Drew Barks?
Drew, D-R-E-W, Barth. Barth Head. It looks like Drew Barth Head.
I'll be damned. All right. 458, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. By the way, boys, I came to an incredible decision over the weekend by mistake at the store. The last time I left the house during the day, I bought Peter Pan peanut butter instead of Jif. But just by mistake, I picked the wrong color. It's the thing. And I took it home, and I thought, I was like that. And fact of the matter is, Peter Pan has a much better consistency than Jif does to put on my hot English muffins with butter.
We need to do a taste test, a blind taste test.
Well, by God, maybe
another
I'll
good
bring
one to
it in
try out
tomorrow.
is the Reese's. Have you ever?
I used to. I for some reason I don't see them for. I don't. It's not on the shelves a lot.
I tried it once. It's not that bad actually.
And Skippy was the old one they used for years and years. Skippy peanut butter was, I think, the first one back in the 50s.
I can't tell the difference.
No, I wouldn't know. Anyway, coming up at 5 o'clock, Holy Crap at Sports. Also, a latest on Mike Tyson and the bout coming up, and a whole bunch of, and Jerry Seinfeld on comedy and things, and John Kruk with a story that'll tickle you a little bit. With Pete Gibber and the Flounder, like at 5 o'clock right now. Stand by.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Another messy day on multiple college campuses. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Protesters chanting "The world is watching" as police made more arrests at the University of Texas Austin campus and at the University of South Florida in Tampa. At least one tent was enough to have police move in over violations of school rules. But at Columbia University in New York City, more protesters have arrived hours after a deadline set by school officials for them to leave the tents or be suspended.
Some of those students who are leading the charge here at Columbia University saying they're not going anywhere. They're not breaking down this encampment, even though it's past the deadline, until the school goes with their demands. So I think a lot of the questions that people have here who go to the school, and we're looking forward to graduation, including Jewish students out here on campus and their parents who pay all of this money to send them to Columbia University in New York City, is who's in charge here? Is it the president of Columbia, Manoush Shafiq, or is it these students who are here setting up these encampments?
Fox's Alexis McAdams. The protesters' demands include divestment from Israel and amnesty for disciplined students and staff, even though Columbia says negotiations are over. A gunfight leaves a neighborhood stunned in Charlotte, North Carolina.
It's a lot of emotions going on. You could tell a lot of people who's scared.
Police say multiple law enforcement officers were shot as a U.S. Marshals task force tried to serve a warrant. There is no word yet on officers' conditions or the suspect, with residents told to stay in their homes. Well, now we know who won the $1.3 billion Powerball jackpot in Oregon. He's Cheng Seifan, an immigrant from Laos who's been battling cancer for 8 years. He says his prayers have been answered and his life changed.
Now I can bless my family and find a good doctor for myself.
He and his wife will split the prize evenly with a friend who chipped in $100 to buy a batch of tickets with them. The lump sum payment before taxes is $621 million. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The elites want more control through digital currencies in a cashless society. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your gold inside of a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting PROTECT to 9898. 9898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text PROTECT to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
Message and data rates may apply.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a plank. Ready on your dog, target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer House on 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder. We got your news. We got goofing around. You'll hear from Jerry Seinfeld. You hear a story from John Kruk. We'll have more comedy stuff from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Got a lot juicier than I thought. I didn't really pay any attention to it, but they were going after him pretty good, which is pretty interesting. Although his face, President Crime Family Stupid Face's face looked like it was melting, and he's had a lot of Botox or surgery or something because his face is like slick and like it's made out of paraffin or something. Anyway, so we got that going for us. And sportsy stuff, Holy Crap of Sports with Pete coming up here. And Fanny, the uppity schmuppity district attorney, decided to skip her debate yesterday. She's got a 70% lead in the polls to be reelected Fulton County district attorney. 70%. The uppity schmuppity, who she'll do whatever the hell she wants, lied under oath, tried to completely misrepresent the court case against Trump, and unbelievable. And, she's probably the next mayor of Atlanta. 404-741-1230, 741-1230, with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And the big top story to me, what do you think? We'd love to get your opinion about this, about Kristi Noem, South Dakota governor, and she's doubled down on critics when that came out that she killed a puppy. And she did it because she said the dog was a bad dog, was going to attack and kill livestock. And South Dakota law allows you to kill dogs that attack livestock and put them down. And her dog Cricket was like a 14-month-old female. She said Cricket had behavior aggressively toward people, biting them. So she took she took her 14-month-old female dog Cricket to a gravel pit near her farm and shot her because, quote, she was less than worthless and untrainable, unquote. This is from Kristi Noem's book. It was not a pleasant job, but it had to be done. After it was over, I realized another unpleasant job needed to be done, so she also killed a nasty, mean goat, the same gravel pit. A lot of pushback from people saying, oh, my God, I'm a country boy who lives on a ranch, and there's a difference between putting down an old horse who's suffering and shooting an 18-month-old puppy for being untrainable. People have no words, and I can't imagine that there's any way that she's still in contention for Donald Trump's running mate.
You can have another Kamala Harris situation on your hands. No way. And in light of that, now again, why is she even doing this in light of, if she were really seriously interested in being vice president, or if Trump had told her, you're the one, so keep it on the clean and narrow here for a while. Why in the world would she be promoting this book and coming out with this book now? So clearly she didn't give a damn, and I assume Trump tone deaf.
Yeah, or
she's tone deaf.
Yeah, or so special that she thinks she can do whatever she wants. I mean, who knows? She's been on TV a lot, commercial after commercial.
She's a good governor.
Yeah, absolutely. Too much makeup, and she's does a lot of me TV commercial stuff. But she's the governor, so that's her right. Anyway, she defends killing the dog and farm life and ranch life and stuff like that. It's not the same thing as taking it to the local pet pound or something. They don't have one, with 100 miles.
I still want to know what that goat did.
He just general principle, I think. He probably popped her in the. She bent over somebody to get the paper, and he went wham boom or something or other. Anyway, Kristi Noem, I can't imagine she's. I mean, that's got to be the ball game there. And I haven't heard anybody any reaction from Donald Trump. Anybody asked him anything? I haven't heard anything politically, other than just people like you and me saying, "Well, it's out."
Why should he say anything? Because it wasn't official that she was going to be the pick.
No, I'm saying I'm surprised that nobody has called Donald Trump and say, "What's your comment about Kristi Noem killing the dog?" I mean, if I were a reporter and I had access to him, that's the first thing I'd say is, "Hey, did you hear about Kristi Noem?" You know, I mean, it's obviously the first thing we ask is, is Trump, well, obviously he's not going to do it. And Trump, of course, just met with DeSantis in secret, and so they're, going to be campaigning together, so here we go. Who knows?
Governor Noem, what's your position on unruly children?
Yeah. 18-month window, is there like a 2-year thing, or...
Kablam!
Anyway, at University of Georgia, protesters got arrested this morning. They decided to keep their tent campus thing going after 7 o'clock this morning, and they demanded their encampment. They set it up to demand university solidarity, protection, and disclosure and divestment of financial relationships with Zionist organizations. And so the university said, no, we're not going to do that. So they said, you're under arrest. Not clear how many were actually arrested or if they were all students or not. I'm sure most of them probably were not. May have been faculty or staff members arrested as well. The University of Georgia said, we'll make it very clear, if you work here, live here, study here, and you break the law, you're getting arrested. And they did.
Fire them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And by the way, and Columbia University, the breaking news is that they're not changing yet. Columbia said we have a 2 o'clock this afternoon deadline. That was 3 hours and 9 minutes ago. And people are still there with the encampments, and the police have not come in to mow them down and drag them off. So, and the Columbia University says, we're not, the negotiation is over. We're not negotiating. You need to leave. But they're not doing anything about it yet. And again, they're all afraid. They're afraid to do stuff. Hundreds arrested over the weekend. Excuse me. And I want to make this point again because I'm a baby boomer and I grew up as a young man and an interested man in what's going on in my life in the 60s and 50s, but really 60s and 70s when, and people anywhere near my age will remember this, protests then, whether it was Haight-Ashbury or Columbia University or anywhere they go, the protests then were for bringing home American teenage boys from the war, were protests for peace, were protests for black rights, were protests for civil rights, were protests for women's equal rights. All these things were protests for something to be betterment, to bring all people into equality and a higher plane and so forth, and ending war and things like that. Those were all protests. This whole series of protests is all hate protests. Kill the Jews. Slaughter the Jews. Stop the Jews from... it's unbelievable. What happened? And that's why I'm so flabbergasted about it, because I could... I remember I was tear gassed on Arizona State campus and Michigan State campus when I got my master's degree. Not deliberately. I was walking on campus and there was a tear gas attack because of protests. But they were protesting against Vietnam. Kent State. Stuff. They were, protests for the ending of violence and for civil rights and for black rights, stuff like that. This is totally different. This is all hate. This is hate-filled protests. These are Democrats.
Which is why I have no problem if they get on horseback with truncheons and just bash their brains out when they go in there.
Well, either going to do it or you're not. Either at a University of Texas in Austin right now, I'm watching a video showing the cops are, in fact, just put on my iPad. Well, you can hear it. This is my iPad you're hearing. They're showing the face of police officers and kids screaming in the background. University of Texas. Sorry, let me turn this off here if I can. There we go. And boom. Anyway, so, here we go. And again, it's so different. And the White House, by the way, refuses to say whether all these students who are involved in possibly getting kicked out of school. In fact, that's one of the things that universities are saying. By the way, like at University of Georgia, we can terminate you. We can kick you out of school. Now, then the other question is, White House refuses to say if any of those anti-Israeli, Jew-hating protesters who might be barred from campus or even kicked out, will they be eligible to have their student loans forgiven?
Yeah.
Should they have their student loans forgiven? And now it's a political decision. I mean, the whole thing is a freaking mess.
In fact, there's a meme out there. Do we have to pay for their college education before or after they say death to America and kill all the Jews?
Yeah, exactly. And so we're supposed to help them get out of the burden of the deal they made to pay their debt. Made a contract. And we got out of it. And, of course, politically, the polls are all showing this. Donald Trump is up by 6% with a few months to go before Election Day over majors nationwide. And, by the way, I thought this was interesting. The same poll that came out, I think it was a CNN, SSRS, or somebody other poll, they showed back a couple of years ago, there was the same survey, and it said, how would you rate Donald Trump's success as president? And the rating was 40%. Last week, or a couple of days ago, they asked, well, how would you rate Donald Trump's success as president? And it was 55%, which is important to realize that what they're now doing is saying, well, Trump we didn't think much of Trump back then, but oh my God, what a difference and what a better president he was than what we have now. This is a nationwide survey. It was 40, went to 55.
How can it be 40? Outside of the China virus, what did he do wrong?
Bad tweets. Again, they didn't give a damn about his policies. It was all Donald Trump, orange man. We hate him. Again, but again, this is why it's important to mention it's up to 55, because they said, oh my God, he actually was a good president. He did a pretty good job, especially compared to President White Trash. It's a 5:14 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder, and funnies and stuff. And Pete Davis next. Look out.
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
Nancy Pelosi, Rhino, she's got some things to say about Donald Trump when it comes to his position on abortion.
She comes out yesterday and she says he's either stupid or he thinks the rest of us are stupid. She continues to talk, says you can't be a little pro-life. You're either there or you're not. Well, that's like saying you either are for killing babies or you're not. So you're all for killing babies, Nancy Pelosi.
That's right.
Nancy Pelosi is trying to engage people into talking about abortion. There's two things we've talked about on this show. Don't talk about abortion. If you have to talk abortion, say, we're going to leave it to the states. You'll decide what your community is going to be its standard. That's it. That's all. That's what President Trump did. They're trying to engage him into something further because there's no national politician that can talk about being pro-life and get elected nationally.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
From now until Mother's Day, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering an exclusive deal. Receive a complimentary Big Green Egg Grill with any qualifying jewelry purchase. It's the perfect opportunity to fulfill Mom's wish list with the stunning pieces like a diamond tennis bracelet, diamond stud earrings, or a timeless eternity band, all crafted to last a lifetime. Plus, while you're treating Mom, why not treat yourself too? Take home a Big Green Egg Grill courtesy of Georgia Spa Company. But wait, this deal isn't just for Mom. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, welcoming a new addition to your family, or simply want to show someone special how much you love them, this offer is for you too. Our incredible showrooms guarantee that you'll find the perfect gift for your mom or loved one at just the right price. So visit us anytime now until Mother's Day at any of our 3 locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Peachtree City and find the perfect gift for any occasion with the extra gift for yourself of a free Big Green Egg Grill online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Baseball season is back. If too much celebrating leaves you in trouble after the game, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from the stadium to the city, and in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Hey golfers, the next time you're looking for a quality course to play with a great variety of hole layouts and elevation changes that demand every shot in your bag, then you've got to line up a tee time at Wolf Creek Golf Course. Since 2001, Wolf Creek has earned a reputation as one of the most challenging and most fun golf course experiences out there. Wolf Creek is conveniently located just 10 minutes west of the Atlanta airport and only 15 minutes southeast of downtown Atlanta. When you play golf at Wolf Creek, you'll find beautiful natural scenery and excellent turf from the tee boxes to the fairways to the greens, with top-notch Bermuda grass in tournament condition. After your round, Wolf Creek offers a patio area for your group to enjoy a 19th-hole gathering. Golf Digest selected Wolf Creek previously as one of the best golf courses to play in the Atlanta area. To book a tee time, please visit wolfcreekgc.com or call 404-344-1334. That's 404-344-1334. wolfcreekgc.com.
Extra 106.3 listeners are falling in love with Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell.
Me and my wife now find our favorite sandwich place. That food over there was great.
Yeah, those rolls are so soft and sweet. I mean, it was just melt in your mouth. It was, and the steak was tender and juicy and flavorful. I can't say enough about it. It was very, very impressive.
It was so good.
Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner. Nucky'sHoagies.com.
That was the Kimmer in there, yeah. Hey, the 5 o'clock hour
there.
Brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers. Luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Grover and his girlfriend are out now, frolicking.
Grover and his little lady groundhog.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Well,
I think it's a lady.
You got to get video. I'm telling you, we got to take a moment after the sports here and go out and get some video.
I do. Braves win another series, and for their reward, they get to fly across country and play another game tonight in Seattle.
Yeah, oh, boy. Yeah.
They took 2 out of 3 from the Guardians over the weekend. 2 games going extra innings, I believe, including Sunday's 4-3 victory in 10. Cleveland came into the series pretty much tied with Atlanta for the best record at MLB. Not anymore. Bryce Elder, another good outing. The starting pitching great the entire 3 games, and Austin Riley delivered the big hit yesterday.
Austin has clobbered the ball in this series and only has 1 hit to show for it, and that was in the 4th inning. You'd take that right here. As he lined one to right, the pitch. Bounced up the middle, might get through. It does! Base hit! Rattled around third. Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win! Austin Riley comes through with the winner.
Joe Simpson on 680 The Fan, or Joe Nostradamus. He predicted that one, didn't he? So a late game tonight in Seattle. The 2-0 Max Fried against the 3-2 Bryce Miller, a right-hander for the Mariners. Start of a 6-game West Coast road trip ending against the Dodgers. MLB and the Players Association have reached an agreement to fix the new uniforms that Nike foisted upon them this year. Who would have thought that having unis that collect sweat while at the same time being see-through, including the pants, was a good idea? Nike was innovating something that didn't need to be innovated, said one players' union memo. Yeah. So they're going to fix it by next year, they claim. So
well, that's good.
Year,
so, it's only go through the summer with what they have now. Yeah, that's great.
We got to retrain all the sewers over there in South Vietnam or whatever, too.
All the children, yeah.
Opinions about the Falcons' 2024 draft range from "it's smart, they're seeing around corners" to "is there lead in the water out there in Flowery Branch?" Here are the picks. Number 1, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback, Washington Huskies. Number 2, here's a good one, Rook or Rororo.
No.
Just throw the H's out. Don't look at the H's. They're silent. Or Rororo, defensive tackle, Oregon. Braylon Trice, linebacker, Washington. Brandon Dorles, defensive tackle, Oregon. I'm starting to see a pattern here. J.D. Bertrand, linebacker, Notre Dame. Jace McClellan, running back, Bama. Casey Washington, receiver, Illinois, and Zion Logue. Oh, my God, a Georgia player, a defensive tackle. They picked a Georgia player.
Outstanding. Who got him?
Falcons.
Outstanding.
Those are their 8 picks.
8 picks for the Falcons. Well, good for them.
And one of them. Mel Kiper gave the Falcons a C grade. In fact, just about every NFL pundit is giving them a C. D. Orlando Ledbetter, who covers the Falcons for the AJC, gave them an A- for being able to see around those corners.
Well, okay.
Well, he's got to work with them every day, so
that's
you know.
true. That's fine. That's fine.
After 3 long days and nights of drafting, you could tell the strain was getting to new head coach Raheem Morris. On Saturday, he said this nugget of joy about all the attention they're getting for drafting Penix. Quote, "What's Travis Kelce's girlfriend's name? I'm Taylor Swift and Terry Fontenot is Kelsey. We're making this thing popular," he uttered, end quote.
Oh, my. You had to bring the old Tay-Tay in there, did he?
To which GM Terry Fontenot responded, "What are we doing? He's tired, guys. We're getting tired. We should wrap this up." Stump.
It's like you guys telling me to just knock it off. Just go to the break.
Quit talking.
Yeah, stop that. Just
He's
quit now.
kicking him under the table. You can tell he's doing that. And speaking of Travis Kelce, the circus will continue. He has signed a 2-year extension with the Chiefs. And his brother, former Eagles center Jason, is joining ESPN's Monday Night Football pregame show.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Which is nice. I think Nick Saban did an outstanding job as an analyst for ESPN. Did you see any of it?
I saw a little bit, and he sounded like a pretty decent guy without a chip on his shoulder for once. I saw it like for a minute. It was pretty impressive.
Relaxed.
Actually, yeah. It sounded like a decent
man
fellow.
does his homework.
Yeah.
In fact, he recruited half the guys he was talking about. But I thought he did a hell of a job.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Which we shouldn't be surprised. What does he not, outside of the Miami Dolphins head coaching gig, what has he not done well?
Well, he's prepared. He knows, I mean, he's in there.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't always do it when the lights are on and the mic is on.
Right. Yeah, that's true. In fact, that's what surprised me is that he always came across as kind of a diphead, and kind of a jerk with a chip on his shoulder. And the fact of the matter is he was part of the team and seemed like he was helpful and pleasant, and it was pretty impressive.
Had a sense of humor, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of all that, Matt Ryan has joined CBS's NFL Today show, so someone has to go. How about 2 guys got to go? Both Phil Simms and Boomer Esiason have been fired by CBS after over 2 decades there for both of them. Now, I never cared for Boomer, but at least he had opinions and a personality, grating as it is. But I never understood Simms. He knows football, has a personality of a small soap dish. I mean, he's just, it's like a puppet up there. It's not like going on. If Simms had played in Nashville instead of New York, we'd have forgotten his name 20 years ago outside of thinking of Super Bowls.
Yeah,
that's why he got the job. He played in New York. University of Alabama, Birmingham's entire football team has signed up for athletes.org. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
It means UAB is the first Division I football team to publicly join the Players Association.
Union? Oh, boy.
There. And guess who turned them on to the union?
Deion Sanders or something. I don't know.
Well, close. Their own head coach, former NFL quarterback Trent Dilfer, called them together earlier this month and said they should do this. And here's his quote. "They're going to have a seat at the table. I wanted to make sure I helped pour gasoline on something that is going to happen no matter what," end quote.
Wow. Looks like he's
coming.
asking for it, yeah. Well, you start putting unions in college football? Okay, here we are.
Now, UAB says they have not sat down and talked with them en masse to negotiate any deal with them or anything, but that's coming.
Yeah. Is this going to be a legal thing? Is this?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they've already won court cases.
Wow.
The players have already won court cases.
I wonder how far it's going to go, though. I mean, is someone going to fight it all the way? Supreme Court type deal?
They're going to roll over and let them do what they want.
There we go.
NBA playoffs. No Atlanta Hawks were injured in the making of the NBA playoffs. But the Timberwolves head coach has been hurt. The coach, Chris Finch, helped off the court late in their series-clinching win over the Suns last night. Ruptured patellar tendon in his right knee. One of his own players collided with him on the sideline. In a related story, the Suns do what they always do, underachieve, and get swept out of the playoffs. And they don't even have Chris Paul to blame it on this time. On this day, April 29, 1953, Joe Adcock became the first player in Major League history to hit a homer into the center field bleachers at the Polo Grounds. If you've never seen what that looks like, check out what the Polo Grounds used to look
massive.
like. massive. The Homer traveled an estimated 475 feet.
Wow.
And that was measuring back then. 2007, Chipper Jones hit into the 13th unassisted triple play in Major League history. He lined to Troy Tulowitzki, called it, stepped on second base to retire Kelly Johnson, and he tagged out Edgar Renteria. And that is not on Chipper's highlight reel, I believe. In the
I just saw one the other day on Sports Highline, ESPN's top 10 stuff there a few days ago. I had a triple play. Still pretty cool to see it. When you see it, it's really kind of sweet.
And unassisted. Pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
And to show you how powerful umpires were back in the day, 1902, Orioles infielder John McGraw is hit by a pitch 5 times. But home plate umpire Jack Sheridan refused to allow him to take first base. McGraw is hit for the last time in the 9th inning. He's so angry he sat down in the batter's box in protest. So American League President Ban Johnson suspended McGraw for 5 games, not the umpire.
When you said he didn't get out of the way fast, he was asking for it kind of deal or something? Good Lord.
Probably mad at him. Or maybe he didn't get out of the way. Which, by the way, over the weekend, I think Darno took one on the knee.
Yeah.
He so leaned into that. And did you see the Aaron Judge stick his hand up and block the throw from second base?
No,
and the umpires got together. Yeah, they said, it wasn't intentional. He stuck his hand up and he knocked the ball away, and they gave it to the Yankees because it was the Yankees. And of course, the Yankees scored 7 runs and blew the Brewers out after that.
Was it
and
19-2 or something?
15 to something.
Yeah.
How could you look at that and not say he's intentionally doing it?
We used to try that in Little League. I remember doing it when I was 9 in a rundown or something.
Why have replay if they're not going to use it or use it correctly?
Lord.
It's so stupid. All right, it's time for Nate's joke. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready for Nate's joke, yes.
Why is a football called a pigskin?
Well, because they have to, and I put it on the porker. I don't know.
Because most football players like to hog the ball.
Okay, that's not even close, but all right, hogging and pigskinning. By the way, on this, now, Flounder, we have a musical Kimmer's History thing that I think you probably have ready for us here for this thing, for an ABC thing on this day in 1961. This sound and video accompanying the sound was heard for the first time on ABC television.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
Oh no, he fell off the ski lift. Oh no.
The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
And what a thing it was, 1961. And who doesn't remember the guy falling off the ski jump, coming down, and he boom bam, and there's an agony of defeat. Holy cow, 5:30. We got more coming up, too, about that stuff. Muhammad Ali in the news on this day in history, and lots of great sound, funny stuff, and Jerry Seinfeld coming up talking about modern culture on TV and the movies with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
But I'm watching the TV last night, and the reporter kept talking about gun violence. You hear that all the time. Gun violence. A question. When somebody gets into a wreck and somebody dies, did they die from car violence? No. They died because the driver of a car took an action that resulted in their death.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, Built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
The Atlanta Braves are committed to telling the stories of players both on and off the field and are proud to present Always Believe, the Ozzie Albies story, presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Viewers get an up-close and personal look into Ozzie's life, including his upbringing in Curacao, the Ozzie Albies Foundation, and how he has become one of the most beloved and successful second basemen in Atlanta Braves history.
Don't give up on your dreams. Keep working hard. You got to go get it.
Head to youtube.com/Braves to stream the documentary today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
My name's Jeff Criswell. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Georgia's 6th District. I'm a Republican. I'm very conservative. First moved to Atlanta, the Atlanta area in 1984. Within the last 3-4 years, I really felt a very strong urge that I believe is from God to get involved in politics. So there's 765,000 voters in this district. So I'm going to need to be able to use sort of some more modern strategies. And for that reason, I am reaching out to people. We need your support. I don't care if it's $10 or $100 or $1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. Also, if you want to volunteer, we could absolutely use you for a volunteer. And finally, a sign out in a yard is worth its weight in gold. If you want to put a sign up, go over to jeffcriswell.com. That's Jeff, Jeff, Criswell, CRISWELL.com. By all means, we want to partner with you because we can win this district.
This message is paid for by Jeff for Georgia 6.
All right, I have another elevator story with a girl. Here we go. This is the jam. You want to tell me what, man? Say it. Well, on this day, 1977, the Jam released their first single, In the City. It peaked at number 40 in Britain. The English punk rock mod revival formed in Woking, Surrey, fronted by Paul Weller. Now, Paul Weller was an actor, did the RoboCop. I don't think it's the same Paul Weller.
No, it's not the same guy.
Achieved 18 other top 40 hits, including 4 British number ones, The Jam, from 1977. All right, well, there you are. Our birthday list includes that naughty little Jessica Alba, 43.
Peter Weller's who you're thinking.
Peter Weller, that's right. Well, it's close, so close. That's I got half a thing working there up there today. The old upstairs. I'm surprised I remembered any of it. And on this, we got a couple of sports things here. I hope you don't mind. On this day in 1986, Roger Clemens became the first pitcher to strike out 20 batters in one game. It was a home game for the Red Sox against the Mariners in 1986. And I got another sports thing here. Oh, I know. I got it here. Hold on a second. I'll get to my phone now because I have different sources for my different history things. Foggy? There we go. It was on this day in 1967, heavyweight boxing champion Muhammad Ali appears for his induction into the United States Armed Forces in Houston. He was called his name. He refused to step forward. His name was called again, refused to step forward. Name called a third time, refused to step forward after being warned by an officer. Failing to answer to his name was a felony punishable by 5 years in prison and a fine of $10,000. Muhammad Ali refused to budge when his name was called again. The same day, the New York State Athletic Commission suspended Muhammad Ali's boxing license and stripped him of his title. That was 1967. In 1964, Muhammad had failed the U.S. Armed Forces qualifying test because his writing and spelling skills were that of about a 4-year-old. That was in 1964, but in 1966, they revised the tests because they wanted to draft people. In 66, Vietnam was going nuts. That's when I enlisted in the Marines. And they revised the tests, and Ali was then reclassified as 1A. When notified, by the way, you passed sorry, you're in after all, he said, no, I'm not going, and refused to serve in the United States Army. He said he had nothing against shooting other little brown people. I remember very clearly, he said, those little brown people didn't do anything to me.
Right.
So, of course, oh my God, 538. Holy smokes, Pete Davis. Hey, we got tweets, weapon AI. We got tweets. We got things going on in the world of computers and mind things. And here's Pete Davis with all of it. It's incredible stories.
You know what CAPTCHA is?
CAPTCHA? No, I don't.
CAPTCHA is when you go on somewhere and it says to prove you're not a robot.
Oh, yeah.
You have to find
the squiggly
pictures
lines and letters and yeah.
And lights and everything. Well, guess what?
What? Uh-oh.
They're having to make them harder, these little puzzles.
They're hard enough already. What are you supposed to figure them out? What are they talking about?
Because the robots are figuring it out.
Well, if we knew this.
Yeah, and they're asking AI to invent the new puzzles, so they already have the clues to the puzzles.
We're going to have to go on AI to decide whether AI determines we are a human using AI.
Yeah, and they're going to talk to each other. You know, AI is going to be talking to each other, not telling us that they're talking to each other. Okay, here's what you do. It's the 3 stairs on the left. That's what you need to hit there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That says they're evolved to test your intelligence as the bots become smarter. And they're going to have to go from doing shapes to almost jigsaw puzzles to prove it now. Of course, most of the ones I see now say, just check here if you're not a robot.
Yeah. I haven't had that pop up to me in quite a while. I wonder, who still uses that?
I see it all the time.
Do you? For some reason, I'm doing the wrong Googling, I guess. The Google machine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it.
Wow. Let's see. Boom. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I got, the Mike Tyson fight's coming up. Now, and by the way, I kind of, if it's pay-per-view, I'm not going to watch it. And I guess it's obviously pay-per-view. But Mike Tyson's 57. And he's got a fight against a YouTuber turned boxer named Jake Paul, who's, I don't know, 25 or 30 or whatever. And some guy, let's see, Mike Tyson appeared on a talk show and said he's getting in shape. He has not smoked weed or had sex in more than 2 weeks. He said, I'm living my life disciplined. It's been 6 weeks. I haven't gotten high or had sex. I haven't done that since I was a little kid. I hate not being able to smoke weed, but I'm doing it like I love it. I hate not being able to sleep with my wife, but I'm doing it like I love it. Mike Tyson sells marijuana edibles in New York dispensaries shaped like ears, as in Evander Holyfield's ear. He has given up marijuana to comply with fight rules because marijuana is on the list of banned substances by the Texas Department of Licensing and stuff, which is overseeing the fight. Roy Jones Jr., the last person to fight Tyson, offered a warning to this guy, Jake Paul, about the condition that Mike Tyson's in. He says, the first time he hit me in the chest, it felt like a mule kicked me in the chest. If he hits anybody with a shot like that, they're either going to go down or out. Especially guys who are not used to being hit like that, like Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis. Those guys are bigger, they can take it. Jake Paul, I don't think he's going to be able to take that. Might hit him on the chin like that. We'll see. It's going to be tough.
Okay, I don't think Jake Paul can knock out Tyson. All Tyson has to do is get up close and start popping him. and it'll be over.
Yeah, I will never forget. In fact, I was on HBO or something, had a highlights of Mike Tyson fights. It was one after another, and I remember when they'd ring the bell the first round, and Tyson would race to get to the guy and just start hitting him. I mean, it was in 1 second of delay between boom, bam, pow. It was just, there was no way. It was the damnedest thing. He was like 19 years old or something, and ferocious.
Have you seen him practicing for this?
Yeah, brutal.
It's like pistons in an engine going back and forth. That's as fast as he is.
It's like one of those glugger machines that puts telephone poles in the ground. Holy smoke-a-rooney. 542. By the way, Flounder found a story of a John Kruk. John Kruk was a former, where did he play? Philadelphia?
Philly. Started with the Padres and played mostly with the Phillies.
Mostly I remember it's the Phillies. And he was a big husky guy and a real personality. And I just remember him doing funny things at the plate when Randy Johnson threw him a pitch or something, he'd just back out and say, I can't do this. I can't.
In the All-Star game?
Yeah. Whatever. He's a knucklehead. But a character. Well, he was on MLB broadcast for a while, and he was telling a story when he was talking to his broadcast partner, Tom McCarthy, talking about the 7th inning of the Phillies game against the Padres Saturday night. McCarthy, your fans watching at home, had no idea what was coming in for a wild ride. Okay, let's see. John Kruk talking about playing a prison team while playing winter ball in Mexico. And there's not much to prepare you for where the story goes from here, playing a prison team in Mexico, and John Kruk describing what it was like and what happened.
1 second, this computer just froze.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
Here it is right here. 1 sec.
No problem.
Of course, it does this right as I'm about to play.
That's all right. It was down in Mexico, winter ball, Mexican ball, and it was a prison team.
Did I ever tell you about playing the prison team and when I was playing a winter ball?
In Mexico?
We had an exhibition game every year against a prison team at the prison.
Yeah.
Well, they let me lead off just to get me out of the way,
Swing and a miss.
Spring training, let a guy lead off just so he can get another at bat or whatever. It's a strikeout for Kyle. But so I go up there to bat. The catcher doesn't have any catcher's gear on. And I said, he spoke English too. I said, you don't have no gear? He goes, no. No mask, no nothing. I'm like, well, I'm not going to hit this dude ain't got no catcher's gear on. Right? So we get an extra pair of our catcher had an extra set of gear, so he let him use it. So then I asked him,
Did he keep it?
No. Oh. But I asked him, I said, lefty pitching threw like hard. That's what it reminded me of. He could get through hard, this pitcher. So I asked the catcher, I said, what did he do? He found his girlfriend cheating. He burned up her car with her and her boyfriend.
Oh my God. So you then just did 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable at bat.
You're at bat.
Yeah,
I would think so. There's probably a lot of things that were running through your head.
Yeah, like get me the heck out of here. But then we went in there and ate with them afterwards in the prison in the thing, right? And they said when you walk in, make sure you keep your hand on your hat. I don't know. I don't get it, Man, I walked in. I thought they were going to take patches of hair. They were trying to rip my hat off, these prisoners.
Because they wanted the hat or your hair?
No, well, the hat. And I told our manager, I said, look, we can't do this anymore.
The guy's playing against set his girlfriend on fire with her boyfriend in her car. It's 5:45 already. Kara Pete and Flounder. A lot more coming up. Including Jerry Seinfeld next to it. Flounder's Funnies.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Support for Extra 106.3 comes from Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, celebrating their 35th anniversary and Mother's Day season with custom day spa and med spa packages. Discover Mother's Day gift ideas and award-winning day spa and med spa treatments available at Natural Body Spa and Skin Remedy, as well as e-gift cards online at naturalbody.com or in store at one of their 7 locations in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Decatur, Smyrna, and Snellville. Pamper your parent with the gift of spa at Atlanta's best day spa and med spa.
Hey fans, Xander from Atlanta Painting Company here, and with spring on the horizon, the home team won't be the only ones painting corners in Atlanta. This spring, save 10% off all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is to protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we are the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company. Painters you can trust.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly Magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Northwest Pediatric Care.
Hi, I am Dr. Figaro. Northwest Pediatric Care is a primary care medical home for infants, children, and young adults. We see patients from birth to age 21. We are located in Lake Point Professional Center, and our practice consists of 2 board-certified providers, myself and pediatric nurse practitioner Cora Crumby. We are excited to bring our brand and exceptional medical care to Ackworth and the surrounding community.
I am nurse practitioner Cora. We are vaccine friendly and welcome the opportunity to discuss vaccine choices with our parents. We are open Monday through Friday and some Saturdays. You can look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and our website at nwpediatriccare.com.
Thanks so much. As a mother of 3, I'm thrilled to help spread the word of Northwest Pediatric Care. Friends, make an appointment today and tell them Our Town sent you.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
All right, look out now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, Pete and Flounder, and the Rolling Stones. 1963, publicist Andrew Oldham and agent Eric Easton signed a deal with the Rolling Stones in 1963 after buying the rights to the band's first recordings for about $100. They also persuaded keyboard player Ian Stewart to drop out of the lineup and become the band's road manager and still play piano at the back of the stage. Was he just not very good, or they didn't like him, or he had no personality, or what, I wonder? Rolling Stones in 1963.
Not sure on that
Don't know. That's kind of a mystery. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Bridget Moynihan from Blue Bloods and other things. Bridget Moynihan is 53 today. And let's see, on this day in history, a couple of things. You're familiar with the name Carrier on air conditioning stuff? Well, it was on this day in 1914. W.H. Carrier got his patent for the design of the air conditioning unit on this day in 1914. And let's see. Oh, by the way, this is kind of cool. In 1947, the Kon-Tiki expedition, a team of Norwegians and a Swede led by Thor Heyerdahl, set out on a raft named the Kon-Tiki, a raft. They wanted to cross from Peru to South America, 4,000 miles of ocean on a raft.
Peru is in South America.
Well, they wanted to prove from Peru to the Polynesian Islands, settled in a similar way thousands of years earlier. So they wanted to go 4,000 miles. The raft had a square sail and paddles. It took them 101 days to prove that Peruvian Indians traveled that way to the Polynesian Islands hundreds of years ago. And they made it 101 days on a raft.
Papyrus reeds they made it out of.
Good Lord. I mean, that's just, man. Anyway, a couple things there. Wait, hold on. Did I have another one here? Let me see what's interesting. Nah, I don't care about that. Let's see. A couple things. Oh, the story got almost no attention. The General Services Administration, the GSA, which is a government organization or a part of the government that takes care of all the buildings. It takes care of maintenance and organizing things for all the buildings in the administration. General Services Admin. Well, it turns out that there was a GSA that ordered Donald Trump to take possession of an entire pallet filled with boxes that were held by the GSA outside of D.C., documents picked up and brought to Mar-a-Lago at the request of the GSA, not Donald Trump. Trump's team were not the ones who packed up those pallets and wrongfully took them to Mar-a-Lago. Unsealed transcripts of a government witness interview with the FB freaking I, a Mar-a-Lago employee from January 2023, said federal agents tried to get information about the personal life of Walt Nauta, Trump's close personal aide. The DOJ tried to flip him, but he wouldn't do it, so they indicted him. And a document with the FBI reveals the White House counsel was actually part of a meeting with the FBI and special counsel Jay Bratt about prosecuting Donald Trump. Proof that the White House counsel under President Biden was part of the prosecution team against President Trump, and the investigation was not independent, and it was a GSA that ordered Trump's team to take possession of all these pallets of documents, then claiming that it was Trump trying to hide them. And I've got transcripts right here of the thing. Nobody's covered it.
Nope.
Maybe one day. Let's see. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Flounder, let's play. We have cut 3. Flounder found some cuts of, I think it's maybe the blonde chick who was there, of the White House Correspondents' Dinner making fun of people and stuff. Saturday night.
Everything feels strange now. By a lot of measures, President Biden is having a very successful first term, but people don't seem to realize it. Like with the economy. The vibes are bad, but the numbers say it's strong. The economy is kind of like you on the steps of Air Force One.
Oh, my. Oh, they didn't like that one.
It feels like it's stumbling, but there is somehow upward progress.
That was pretty risky. I mean, he has a couple of it. What's his name? Jost?
Colin
Jost. Yeah. Anyway, pretty bizarre. Let's see what else. Let's talk about Jerry Seinfeld. This is kind of interesting. Again, finally, comedians are coming forward saying, man, things changed. The Seinfeld star, Jerry, at least on the extreme left, saying that while people still crave comic relief, they're not finding it on television. Everything has changed. Jerry Seinfeld makes this observation.
Nothing really affects comedy. People always need it. They need it so badly, and they don't get it. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day, most people would go, oh, Cheers is on, oh, MASH is on, oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on, All in the Family's on. You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Mm-hmm. When you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke, well, that's the end of your comedy. They move the gates, like in skiing. Yeah. Culture, the gates are moving. Your job is to be agile and clever enough that wherever they put the gates, I'm going to make the gate.
They move the gates like in skiing. I'm going to make the gate. But where there's risk, there's gain. He says stand-ups are personally leveraging the most. With certain comedians, people are having fun with them stepping over the line. All of us laughing about it. But as stand-ups really have the freedom to do it, no one else gets the blame if it doesn't go down well. Anyway, Jerry Seinfeld, again, more and more people are saying, hold on, they're finally realizing what's going on in this country. I mean, even you can't even be funny anymore. You can't even do comedy stuff anymore. What happened to that? And by the way, in fact, I saw a meme on my phone a few minutes ago, and it showed a red fox standing next to Archie Bunker with their arms around each other, having a good laugh about something, saying, this is the way it used to be. Comedians, entertainers. It wasn't, this vicious attack on everything. It was comedy and taking one, just enjoying life and stuff. Anyway, it's just, I don't like it. Well, let's do one more quick thing on Bill Maher. Flounder, can we do that real quickly? Bill Maher and had Don Lemon on his show, and they were talking about all the horrible things that university professors and the Columbia University and all this stuff and all the discomfort in college campuses. And here's a little bit of the conversation now this went with.
I'm not minimizing what's going on, but it teaches some of these students to deal with discomfort.
right?
Yeah, that's good.
Right. I mean, it does, right?
But this
you
is
mean living in the tent?
Well, living in the tent, and also, listen, I'm different than you guys. You know, I'm a black gay man, so I live in uncomfortable spaces all the time, and I think that is a good lesson for college students. Again, I'm not saying
why? What's going on?
Well, what do you mean? What's going on?
Well, you say uncomfortable spaces.
Well, it's uncomfortable. Everything. College is not a comfortable place. You learn.
No, but you say you live in these spaces.
Yeah, I live in these spaces.
Well, I mean, just tell me what.
Well, I'm often the only person of color in the room, especially in.
There's only 3 of us here. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
I mean, what a fop. I mean, what just a smarmy, entitled victim.
Hey, and for those Queers for Palestine idiots, did you see the law passed in Iraq?
Yeah, tell them real quick. Tell them what it is.
If you get caught doing something gay in Iraq, 15 years in prison.
If they don't throw you off a building first. Unbelievable. 5:57, a Kipper Peyton Flounder, and let's see. Vice President Shiftless and Lazy's in town. She left around 4 o'clock, I think, after messing up traffic. But first, Flounder, we have one more Flounder's Funny to hop on your way with for Nucky's Hoagies right here.
And before I did this job, I used to be a school teacher, right? And are there any teachers in here? A whole bunch? What do you teach, honey? Junior high, what class? Food and nutrition. Do you say science too? Yeah. That's all PE. Don't laugh. Everybody in here is PE teacher look just like me. Well, the woman ones did. That's true if we're honest with each other, and I feel like we are. Come on, let's open up a little bit. You said science? Do you believe in science? It ain't real. It's stupid. You don't believe it, really. We're all adults. We can be honest. Like, do you really believe in it? You think it's real? You love chemistry? That ain't real. They just make that stuff up. Every generation's thought they had science figured out. Nobody did. You used to get a cold and they'd bleed you. Oh, he's the smartest guy in our village. I always felt like I was falling behind in science class when I was a kid, and I figured out why. It's because science teachers, they speed through everything so you don't have the time to ask any questions, and by the time they get done, they just give you a D, and you're like, all right, I'm cool with that. I go to 7th grade. That's the game. I remember when I was a kid, they never let me ask any questions. The teacher would be like, all right, boys and girls, everybody open up your books, page 52. All right, kids, look at the diagram. Check this out. A long, long time ago, all of us in here used to be monkeys, right? Then we turned into this Chewbacca circus carnival freak show looking thing, but now we're all people. Next chapter, move on, no questions. Well, guess what? I had questions. How come monkeys are the only animals that were ever allowed to turn into people? Yeah. How come there's no two-legged giraffe with a short neck walking around vaping? Because it ain't real.
Who's that there, Flounder?
Reno Collier.
Pretty interesting. Boys, happy Monday. We made it for another day. It's over to the Kibber. I gotta go. You're killing me. Pete Davis and Flounder tomorrow, and it'll be Tuesday, and we'll do it all over again. Hoorah, look out. Here we go. Stand by.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3.